Look, guys, look. Oh. Fuck.
Yeah, that's a thumbnail. Why can't we just make a picture of Mac? That needs to be the thumbnail, man. Michael Myers blazing it.
Holy.
Watch. He's like.
Oh my god.
Oh. Oh.
Alright, let's start. So the sooner we get into the episode, we can take the mask off and I can put my fucking glasses on
My
so I can
face
see.
is so sweaty right now.
We should.
Revival House Network.
Alright then. Hey everybody. I don't know if you can hear us worth of shit because we're obviously wearing masks, but welcome to Enema. This is technically our Halloween episode. Who knows when it's going up? But can you guess what we're
Look
doing?
at these two fucking fuckers wearing their Michael Myers mask. I'm the only true Chad with my Jason mask. Look at my Jason mask, very Chad.
We got lit as fuck. Michael Myers in the bottom center, right there.
He's laugh.
I'm sober Michael Myers up here in the top left, Joe Cucker. And then, yeah, we got LD Lovecraft Voorhees in the top right.
Look at LD Lovecraft. Learning Disability Lovecraft. Fun fact.
Look at the smoke coming out of the cracks and shit.
Fucking, we don't do fucking weeds. We eat ice cream. Fucking, why is Aaron trying to get us to do this shit on the screen? I just realized that. Fucking, we eat ice cream on this show.
Ew. I just tried seeing if I could put my tongue through a hole in this mask, and I couldn't. And I just ended up.
Is it time to take the mask off yet?
Look at that.
I need to put my glasses on so I can see.
All right, we can take them off.
Oh my god.
Dude, I fucking licked the inside of his mask trying to stick my tongue through it, and it tastes like shit. Because I had it on like a dummy head on display, and I spray painted the dummy head with like black spray paint.
You have a dummy head. Your fucking head is stupid as fuck.
Goodness gracious.
Look at that fucking dummy head. Look at that retard.
Fucking dumb head. Your head is highly regarded. Your head is highly regarded. You didn't hear any. You didn't hear any of that.
I heard I have a dummy head. Is that what I heard? I mean, wasn't that fucking funny? What the fuck? Did I miss something else?
He's like, wait.
But it is. Fucking. We just ate too much ice cream before. Welcome to the Halloween episode. It is so dang fucking.
Speaking of that, what do you guys think of that Limp Bizkit release for the new album?
So we're just getting right into it then.
There is a new Limp Bizkit record coming out. Amazing.
Let me do the intro before we get into the good shit.
I thought we already did.
Well, kind of, but I just want to say, yes, Enema, all that shit. Please make sure you guys are liking the video, all that good stuff. Never mind. Zach is high as fuck, man. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. I've never seen a bigger smile on him. He's got this big ass cheeseburger fucking grin.
Looking like fucking Cheech and Chong over there.
Yeah. I don't know if they can contain themselves. So yeah, just really quick, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, help us out in the algorithms, drop a comment, all that stuff. Talk about Halloween Kills. That'll be the meat of the topic. We usually go through the news and what we've been watching and just all that bullshit at the first half. So that's what we're gonna get into. And Zach, Mac, what?
So this guy over here has been lying to us the whole time.
Fucking
He
liar.
says you are the liar. You are the one. But he's talking about how he's been eating Ben and Jerry's. But what kind of ice cream you got there, bud?
That's Blue Ribbon.
You lied to us the whole time. So what have you really been doing?
Fucking, it's the Blue Ribbon. Cookies and cream. Cookies and cream.
All right, sorry. Action.
All right. Well, so let's just get right into it. This is obviously a very unorthodox episode just from the way it started. And
It's the Halloween episode, baby. We got to do it.
Yeah.
That's too crazy.
We are loose.
We're a little crazy.
Some people are a little inebriated, a little high, but that's okay. So I don't know what there is to talk about news-wise, but I will say we have to give a little bit of backstory to all the stuff that happened this weekend. So maybe it's my bad. That's totally cool. There's a big fucking clusterfuck. I thought we were going to do a BTM commentary for this movie, Halloween Kills, but
BBC.
I thought we were doing it in the middle of this week, and last weekend I had needed to take off, and I thought, oh, maybe we could do a stream at most. Big miscommunication maybe on my part, and I thought we were doing a stream, and then I had to bail out of said stream, and they thought I was still under the impression we were doing Halloween Kills.
Here's what it was.
Whatever.
Where's Aaron? I don't know. It's like 10 something. That's weird of him. He's usually here. Hold on. He sent us something. What the fuck? He's at a fair. He never even told us he was at a fair. Well, it was so random.
So, and that's why it was probably not quite as important in my mind.
I was so confused. You confused me. I thought you were trying to punk us. I thought those were like old pictures or something.
Stuff got out of hand with the weekend because I actually recorded a cinema enema with Riverman, just me and him, which I'm going to try and get up myself actually if I can fucking manage to not be a boomer this weekend. But anyway, I go into a whole bunch of shit, what's been going on, which led to me having a really, really busy couple of weeks. But anyway, long story short, I thought I wasn't recording at all at first. I thought we weren't recording anything this weekend, but I thought, okay, maybe I am getting a little bit free for the weekend. Maybe we could do a stream. So I pitched that, and it just got crossed somewhere. So they thought it was still Halloween Kills, or at least I was under the impression. I don't know what the fuck happened. Anyway, I thought it was just a stream I was bailing on. So that's why I was a little bit more nonchalant about it. Like, sorry, whatever. Because usually one of us will bail. It's not that big of a deal. And then I didn't find out till the next day when I saw the...
It was funny, though, because
I saw the Discord shit the next day. I saw the Discord the next day, like, starting Halloween Kills. Yeah, and I didn't see this. I didn't have network. So I wasn't getting those alerts where I was at. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I was just confused because I was like, I thought we were doing Halloween. We both were ready for Halloween Kills. And we're like, why is he telling us he's not going to be here? He set this up. We were really confused.
This is the most surreal thing I've ever experienced, eating ice cream while we're recording. I've never done that. I'm breaking new grounds.
I was laughing because it looked funny as fuck.
Anyway, we were on different timelines, but we just got double. So we decided to do a cinema enema, and I guess the Mac and Zach, they have a commentary coming out. Maybe eventually I'll do a commentary as well, but whatever.
A commentary. We're gonna do a
commentary.
I'm trying to fucking. I've been thinking about fucking. We're doing video now. I'm gonna get props and shit. I'm gonna get funny hats. Fucking I'm doing it, baby. Fucking, I'm gonna get some corpse paint. It's gonna be dank shit for all the people watching. Now you're gonna get the extra dimension, fucking, for the people watching, not just the people listening.
Another dimension.
You're losing shit. You're losing it.
Well, also, literally 5 minutes before I jumped on this recording, I just got home from getting in a car wreck. So,
wait, what?
Like, I just got into a car wreck.
Fucking dank.
And I didn't bother letting you guys know because I didn't think I was gonna be late, and I just got home in the nick of time. But sometimes it takes a long ass time for police to arrive and shit like that. It ended up taking 2.5 hours or whatever. But anyway, I got into a car wreck. I was just heading to the gym, and I'm driving out of my neighborhood. I'm driving down this road that we have called Bell Road. It's 3 lanes. I'm on the far inside lane, so I'm driving up. Well, it's mirrored, but anyway, I'm driving, minding my business on the far inside lane, and this one bitch, she turns onto the road, and instead of merging on one of the 2 open lanes here, totally empty, by the way, it's just me on the road, she decides to do this number and then jump right in front of me, and fucking I slammed on my brakes. And I was doing a hands-free voice message to
Rand. Say hands-free com.
Yeah. No, I'll play. Oh, you guys wouldn't be able to hear it. I was gonna play my audio because right when I got into the wreck, when this bitch pulled out in front of me, I was recording a hands-free voice note to Randall and Pat, and I didn't realize it was still recording. And then like an hour later, when I'm at the scene, I finally checked my phone. I just been talking to this chick that hit me, and they're like, "Whoa, that was kind of a dramatic ending to that message. What the fuck happened?" And I didn't realize it was all caught on audio, and it was pretty funny. But I guess you guys couldn't hear it if I played it, could you?
Amazing.
I'm gonna see if it'll play because it's pretty cringe.
We'll edit it in the after show. Fucking doing this live, fucking ruining the flow of the show. Hey, Ron. Well,
No, hey,
well, let's get into what we've been watching because I have a fucking thick list. It's fucking thick, like a
Hold
big
on.
fucking cake ass.
I'm gonna see if I can play this though, man. Come on, I want to see if it'll play.
Man, thinking about curating an initial list of just sort of foundation records. I don't know how. Hey, fucker!
Did you hear that?
Wait, what'd you say?
Hey.
Redo it. Re-say it. Redo it again.
All right, you can hear the tire screeching in the brake.
Felt like you're sitting there talking to the chick while she's giving you a blowjob, and then she tries something.
Easy. Oh, fuck.
She sounds. She tries something new with her tongue, and then it's like.
Yeah, I'll play it again. Watch.
Hey.
I don't know how. Hey, fucker!
Amazing.
I just go hey, and I go fucker. I didn't realize it was recording still. Like I said, an hour later, they're like, "What the fuck happened?" That was pretty dramatic. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Anyway, yeah. So let's go ahead and get in. There's not really new shit for news, I don't think. Is there anything we should talk about in the news?
Limp Bizkit, fucking.
Limp Bizkit still sucks, which is kind of Primus's tagline. They kind of ripped that off, but
Fucking even whenever they're being self-deprecating, they're fucking ripping people off. Amazing.
It's gonna be amazing.
It's funny though. That's going to be the secret to their success going forward. Is just being self-aware. It's kind of hard to fucking. It's I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's hard. It's hard for anybody to fucking pick on you when you've already made the biggest joke out of them. We've already beat you to it.
He kind of was saying that back in the day too. Fucking like, yeah, we're Limp Bizkit, we suck. Fucking.
And you know what? It protects you. It really protects them because, like, if the album really fucking sucks, then like, what the fuck? I mean, like, we call it. What do you expect? But if it's good, it's like, well, it's better than you thought. It's just, it's brilliant in a way. So,
what if Fred Durst really is like the Chad fucking 1000 IQ? Fucking.
Listen, guys, I know we're shit. I know we fucking suck. We're shit. We're just. That's our next album. It's gonna be called We're Shit.
Like at the end, remember how at the end of fucking The Men in Black it zooms out and it's like, oh, we're all on this rock and then there's a bunch of galaxies. It's actually going to zoom out and we're like a fabric, a little stitch in the hat of fucking one Frederick Durst, the red hat. And he's got a big fucking squeegee third eye right in the middle and he's just like, he's one of the babies from the hot dog flavored water, but it's Fred Durst's face. Fucking amazing.
yeah, exactly. Well, that comes out Halloween. So I think we should all like give it a spin and just talk about it.
We should do that on like the podcast.
Yeah, I'll wear a
like
fucking.
we did with ICP.
We should all be New Era committed and wear a fucking cap.
Stay fitted. Hell yeah. I
So
am
come and get it.
I am fucking both stoked and or morbidly curious as to fucking how this album is.
It's gonna fucking be so bad, and we're just gonna be like, yeah, it's just what the album says. It's shit.
Apparently, it's got 12 tracks from what I hear, which is pretty short for a Limp Bizkit. Like usually, it's
They
like
didn't
4.
have
Well,
anything
they got
on,
a
like-
lot. No, they got a lot of segue and filler tracks usually. Like
They don't even
things.
have one song from it. Maybe the dad song.
Well, that's out. That's on Spotify and shit.
But I mean, like they don't have like the album or anything since it releases soon. You
is
figured
that-
they would.
Is that drinking jizz till we pass out and fall on the flow? Is it your bitch because she telling me she ready to go? Is that on there?
No, that would be
Fucking-
stupid. That'd
I
be
would
so
put
dumb.
that on there. That song is actually fucking low key, fucking hilarious. We're drinking jizz till we pass. I can't
that song's
hear
like
it not saying that.
Isn't that song like a decade old?
I would put it. Fucking little Yeezy in the fucking house. Remember, like, now I'm free falling. Yeah, head first. Red cap to the back like Fred Durst. Fucking amazing. So good. So good.
All right, what you been watching, playa? Just you could start, Zach.
Fucking, the most stoked I've been to talk about. Well, first I'll go ahead and mention that I finished Frasier. Fucking the final episode where he fucking all
Moves
the
to
shit.
Chicago, new start.
Exactly. Fucking then they keep it a secret because it's like, oh, is he gonna move to Chicago or is he gonna move to the other place, the fucking where his girlfriend that he'd seen throughout
Faye went.
And like fucking, it kind of, if I remember right, he didn't move to Chicago, right? He went to where she went. Fucking.
I thought he went to Chicago is where she went.
Maybe I'm misremembering it now.
I think that was the impasse he was at, and he was like, you don't know where he was going, but you found out he was going to Chicago. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't quite remember, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he ends up in Chicago.
It was fucking danged. It was based and compelled. Fucking, it's at least a 9. Fucking, I almost just want to say it's fucking a 10. Fucking Frasier, but it's just.
And
like,
you know what's funny too, because there was
time.
talk of them rebooting Frasier, and it would totally work because they've already taken the Frasier Crane character out of Boston, and they made Frasier, and he went to Seattle. New characters, new surroundings, and then. It would work. They would have had him in a new city, and this new show was the pitch. Like, I assume, like Chicago, and I'm like, that would totally work. They've already proven it can work. And
I want to fucking hang out with his gothic son. I hope he's still a goth and he's still getting all the fucking Stacys, all the goth Stacys.
Yeah, it was really funny in those 90s shows. They always like had to portray that whole culture. They did that at Home Improvement too, where Mark on Home Improvement went through the goth phase as well.
What if he is still a goth and he's like fucking he's like fucking I forgot the joke I was gonna make. Fucking too much ice cream. Too much ice cream.
Well, anyway, go ahead. What was the joke? You got it?
No, I don't.
Well, I was gonna say, was I accurate? Because I told you it was one of the few sitcoms and shows that didn't really lose too much steam at all. It stayed pretty consistent, like for 9 years or 11 years, right? 11 seasons? Long fucking time.
Fucking the only, it's donked. Fucking, I probably will get that on Blu-ray because that shit's not going to be fucking streaming.
And it's not even, it is. It's Stravers has been streaming.
I mean, it's not going to be streaming forever is what I mean.
The only nitpick, it's not even a nitpick because eventually the story has to evolve. But I will say, I think it was funnier when Niles was pining after Daphne than when they got together. Like, I liked that dynamic a little bit, but of course they have to move the story along. But some of my favorite episodes were in that last couple of seasons. Did you see the episode with Patrick Stewart? Hands down, so fucking funny.
Fucking Chad. The last season when he scares his dad, he dresses up like the clown.
Yeah.
Fucking scares his dad because his dad keeps fucking scaring him. And he actually gets a heart attack.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it shows he's like walking in there wearing that clown outfit. And it's like, how the fuck can he not tell this is going to scare the fuck out of somebody? But it's just like, he's so lost in it. Like, fuck, I got to get him back.
The whole last couple of these seasons were good. And I like I said, that color, Frasier, why didn't you tell us you were gay? I saw you going into Bad Billy's the other night. Oh, okay. That whole fucking him defending his sexuality, that whole fucking episode it cracks my shit up. And I love it when he finally is in on the joke. Like, he doesn't get it. He's the only one that doesn't see it, that he's dating Patrick Stewart. And I love it when he just like right in the middle of the party. And this is why Kelsey Grammer's so brilliant, because all his comedy is very physical. When he's trying to tell Roz and everybody's like, no, we're just good friends or whatever. And then the concept of sex comes up at the party, and then Patrick Stewart sort of breaks out to he strokes his face, my sweet patient Frasier, and he just strokes his cheek, and the look on his face as he's stroking his cheek, like is fucking hilarious, man. And there was that episode
I would have calmed if Patrick Stewart stroked my cheek.
And then there's that episode of Michael Keaton too, where he played Lilith's brother, his brother-in-law. That was funny too.
The fucking
the evangelist, fucking crook. Yeah, it's a great show, man. I love it.
Fucking Chad.
Well, you can keep going down the list.
We never found out how our boy fucking Michael Keaton was able to like fucking stab his leg or whatever he did. Fucking and hide it.
Oh, and it ends so great where he just opens the door and the chair's gone, and it's like the no fucking ending.
Hell yeah. After that, I was like, fucking, I'm so in the mood for like, just like those fucking 30-minute sitcom straight, like kind of things. I'm like, I'm going to go to another one. I watched fucking the entire series of Daria, fucking 5 seasons. The show was always on a fucking upward project. I always thought the show was getting better, and then it ended. Like fucking while it was just still going up, and looking forward to the reboot because Paramount Plus is rebooting Beavis and Butthead and Daria. Fucking looking forward to it.
That's cool. Well, what else? Yeah, keep going. Is it all you've been all TV lately, or?
Pretty much. I got based in I got Freaks and Geeks pilled. I finally watched Freaks and Geeks.
I watched that a long time ago. Yeah.
Judd Apatow. Fucking what's her name? Fucking the main girl. Fucking Lisa.
Delma.
Fucking exactly. Big Stacy. Fucking
Cardinelli.
Fucking, I would I want to carve fucking her name in my skull. Fucking, I want fucking just I would die for the Cordellini. What's her last name?
Cardinelli or Cardellini?
Cardinelli, something like that. Fucking,
whatever.
I keep thinking of Max. We used to do this thing cooking with Mac Cordeliomos. Fucking, so I always want to say Lisa Cordellini.
It's Micheliomos, Cordeliomos.
Micheliomos.
Cordeliomos.
Mac looks faded. Your eyes. You look fucking glossy eyed as shit.
And Zach looks like Mario.
from the movie, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm the guy from the lighthouse. Oh yeah.
Can you do the lug
Wait, aren't they releasing a new Mario Bros again?
an animated movie, right?
Oh no.
Fucking, you know what's funny
weren't they
is
gonna make that one again, but add more like special features for it or something?
the new cut.
Weren't they gonna put a
cut.
different edition into it?
That was a fan cut, I think. I think a fan did it, and it got this like huge. Yeah, I think it went viral. I think a fan did it. He put it all together. I don't know. It wasn't official.
Oh, back to what I was saying though. Fucking Freaks and Geeks, Big Chad, Big Stacy. Fucking, I gave that another 9. I loved it. Fucking, I wish they.
But it ends after one season.
I was thinking like that would be fucking based and compelled if fucking I tweeted this to fucking Paramount Plus because but they're all stupid. They're not Big Chad like me, big fucking 1,000 IQ. I thought of you should fucking literally reboot Freaks and Geeks and make it like just like it's just the next year, fucking like it never stopped, and it'll be funny because like, oh, we all know they're like adults playing kids, but it's like that's what they were before. They were all in their 20s before. It's like fucking it's all fun. The only thing that wouldn't make sense is like the middle school kids will be in their 20s now and they'll still be pretending like they're middle, but that'd be amazing. Let's do it. Well, I would call
Seth Rogen's entire head is gray now. I think it'd still look pretty weird for the high school kids, you know.
Fucking they got woke. They got woke in there. They fucking he was dating a trans chick. She was actually fucking
she was born with both.
Hermaphrodite.
Yeah, she was a hermaphrodite.
That's big Stacy. That's big Stacy shit. You got to get a fucking chick with a dick and a pussy.
But what was that episode? But they assigned her a sex at birth and cut off the dick, right? She didn't have both, right?
What would you do if you were the parent in that situation? I would literally be like, fucking, I can't make that decision. I can't do that.
Oh, the parent? I thought you meant if you were Seth Rogen in that situation. You'd be like, you're the luckiest motherfucker.
Exactly.
No, you'd be mad at the parents for cutting the dick off.
Fucking just cut the dick off. Fucking you want to keep both of those in like when you come of age. Maybe you can maybe you're lucky enough to be able to fucking angle that dick even though it's got a boner into your vagina and fuck yourself.
How does that work though? So if they're born with both parts, did she still have ovaries? Because then she's probably primarily a girl. Then did she have ovaries? Did they even go into all that?
Fucking, I think so. I don't know. Fucking
to me, it's like. If you had to make that decision, if there was a penis and a vagina on there, if they had ovaries and all the other like woman stuff, it's like, okay, make them a woman. It's like, why would you want a man with ovaries? It doesn't make any sense.
Or just keep them both. Then they can decide. Fucking, or they can just fuck themselves because that would be cool too.
Anyway, all right. Well, what else have you been watching?
Fucking Freaks and Geeks. I started watching that show. You guys were talking about that. I'm on the 9th episode, and it's basically like a not as good Dexter for normies. And it's like fucking but you know what? It's actually super entertaining if you watch it as if it's like a dark comedy. And the name of the show instead of You is like Simp. Like this is like one of those guys who he's simping over this pussy, baby. He's going through it's kind of funny if you watch it like that.
Well, no, hear me out with this. So I'm confused. Riverman and me and everybody else that's a man that watches that show is pretty much forced to because of a female. Why are you watching it on your own? Like
I didn't know anything about it. I just heard like, oh,
it's a total chick show. It's a total chick show. And you can tell because that first season was actually a Lifetime original series, and then it tanked, and then it got canceled, and they ended up putting that season on Netflix, and then it took off and developed a new life on Netflix, and it became a big, huge hit after, and then Netflix picked it up, and that's who put out season 2 and 3. But you can tell, right, that it was a Lifetime type show, right?
Fucking, I kept getting vibes like this is like literally like fucking somebody watched Dexter and like did it poorly as fuck. Like just tried to do that and did it really bad. Like fucking, exactly. Fucking, you watch it as a simp and it's kind of funny. It's kind of a funny show if you do that.
But so I will say though, the first season was probably the best out of the three. I just finished that too. We just finished the third season, and you know. Oh yeah, good that. Hold on, let me get in on that action.
Fucking, we're gonna get demonetized. Visual algorithms.
Just don't put those in.
Fucking amazing. This is the most unorthodox show we've ever done. Fucking
Okay, all right.
Amazing. This is awesome.
All right, so moving on then. Let's keep it orthodox then. Yeah, you can just finish through all your shit, then Matt can go, and then I'll go.
I fucking. It's funny because like it seems like I'm just sitting here like I thought I watched more TV than that, but it's just like 3 shows. But I watched the whole fucking series. I watched the whole thing, all of Daria. Fucking yeah, big Chad shit. But yeah, I'm only on like episode 9 of The U. The U. That's what they should have called it. The U. Fucking good shit. I think that's all I got.
Mac, what have you been watching lately? I don't think you realized you had to think about this, but anything of note?
I started watching What We Do in the Shadows. I don't know if you've ever seen those.
With Taiki Waititi or whatever the fuck his name is.
It's pretty fucking hilarious. I don't know. It's fucking dumb. That's I guess why it's funny. It's stupid. Like what? This is really fucking stupid. And then
you mean it's so like, bad it's good? Is that what you're saying? Or like it's funny? Like
yeah, like I don't know. It's kind of like the Borat.
Fucking.
It's kind of like that. He kind of reminds me of that guy. Like I don't know if it's the same dude. He looks just like him. And it's just a sitcom of fucking vampires.
It's like a parody of. It's like a Dark Shadows parody.
Yeah.
Right, where it's really silly, and it's where Taika Waititi came from because he created that show and got his career.
Wasn't it a movie first? I swear I saw a movie.
It could have been. I don't really know. You know, you thought What We Do in the Shadows. I thought it was a series.
I remember seeing a movie that I'm pretty sure that show's based on, and like I never checked out the show because it's like I don't remember fucking thinking the movie was great. Fucking. I don't remember much about it though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's goofy. I don't know. Like we started watching it and I couldn't stop. Like it was just fucking dumb. It was just like this is dumb, but it's.
You
funny.
Started talking about it, and I was thinking like, oh, it sounds like he's enjoying it.
No,
like,
I am.
Oh, yeah,
no, I'm enjoying. Like it's that. It's so stupid. It's fun. Like I can't stop watching it.
So you mean dumb in a good way, like funny,
right?
Or
like,
fun?
Yeah. Like this is fucking retarded.
Even though he's Kiwi, it's almost kind of like a British style comedy. It's kind of got a weird.
It's kind of like fucking. What were those 2 guys? There was 2 of them.
Did either of you guys ever get a chance to watch not the Ali G show, but the other one, the fucking This Is America? Did you ever watch that Showtime series? Fucking nope. That dude did hilarious, fucking hilarious. Fucking I was wanting to rewatch that again. I got that on DVD. Whenever fucking Family Video was going out of business, got that on DVD. No Blu-ray, very low T.
That sucks.
Oh, which reminds me, fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm started up again. Fucking, I'm gonna let like 3 or 4 episodes fucking build up. Hell yeah.
That's why I'm not watching the Chucky show because I want to just let the season end. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I've been watching Chucky and it's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it's kind of cringy, but like for the most part, like the doll looks decent. Like the pictures don't do it justice. Like when I started watching, I'm like, all right, this is okay.
But I'm kind of worried that they turned it into, like, I imagine, did they turn it into like a Degrassi fucking show where it's like a teen drama
kind of. See, that's like where it's like, man, but like
that's the impression I was getting when I was seeing clips and shit and just
like
the fucking kids and shit. I'm like,
I guess you just get. It's weird how because I always think about this and it's because I was really fucking high, to be honest, or Ben and Jerry'd and fucking I'm like, you know what? I guess I'm just so used to like people in high school being fucking like the college people or like the 30-year-olds, you know what I'm saying? Like in your fucking Friday the 13th, your Halloweens, like that's what I'm used to. So like when I see like real fucking teenagers playing these parts, it's really weird. I don't know. Like,
it is because and we were watching these 30-year-olds portray 16-year-olds.
Right,
When
but I can't tell if it's like shitty acting or if it's just because they're teenagers, so it's like different.
But it's also, think about it, when we're watching like Friday the 13th and shit, we're watching these 30-year-olds play 16-year-olds, and we're kids. We're younger than 16.
Right.
We're like 8, 9, and now we're 30s, and we're watching legit 16-year-olds play 16-year-olds.
It's fucking
and it's
weird.
like, and you can't relate to it so as much. Like, what the fuck?
Right. So I don't want to say it's shit because of that, because that's kind of not fair. I don't know.
And you could still relate to the old movies we watched because those fuckers are now our age in real life.
Mm-hmm. I'll say it's not as cringy as Girl Meets World or whatever. Like
that's like Disney show shit.
Yeah, it's not. It's like it's better than that. It's kind of like iCarly-ish.
Oh, yeah, that sounds amazing. Oh God, Chucky, Chucky.
Right, pretty much. It's kind of like that, I guess, but like with like fucking killing and shit like that. And the gore is great. Like the gore is a lot better than in the other ones. Like,
is somebody in the show having a gender identity crisis? There's at least one person, I bet.
Hold on.
Glenn.
Oh yeah. No. Oh
no spoilers if Glenn's actually in it. I don't want to know. But,
oh no, but he does. Okay.
No spoilers. I want to watch it. I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, I won't say anything, but
yeah, I'll watch.
Like, the pictures don't do it justice. Like, he actually looks good. And you know when you saw and heard all those commercials where he sounds raspy, he's like, "I am like me and my mother." Like, you know how he talks like that, and he has like that silly rasp that doesn't make sense. You don't really hear a lot of it in the show, so it's kind of like it's as if they just hurried up and threw those ads in, and it's like, fuck, that's what he sounds like. But really, like.
The fucking rasp makes no sense except for whenever you factor in that fucking Brad Dourif is aging.
Oh yeah,
that happens when you fucking get
it's
older.
It's weird, like it's because he'll have parts where he's like fine, and then he'll have that in there, and it's like.
Well, I've always wondered like what the ideology, how does Chucky work? Because if he's in this doll body, does he still age? Because he says he's turning human again. He turns human, and he can bleed if he stays in the body too long. But so will he age though? Will his voice get raspy? I mean, can we justify it? I mean, will Chucky start losing his hair? I don't understand.
Well, now at this point, you don't even know because, like, in Curse, he fucking could just stiff up and it wouldn't hurt him, which was a new thing. And then at the end, you're like, oh fuck, yeah. And then at the end, you're like. Oh fuck! He found a way to like transfer his soul without having to age.
Autistic into this shit.
Well, no, it's funny because you don't know at this time, like, because then in the newer one he can like teleport into different fucking Chuckies, and now it's just like, what is it? What is it?
So I know it's obviously canon.
Welcome to Cinema.
It's obviously canon. With all the characters, it's obviously canon, but without giving any spoilers, do they actually acknowledge Cult of Chucky, like this is a direct continuation off Cult? Like, is it literally like the next chapter, or is it not necessarily directly?
Yeah, this is literally after Cult of Chucky.
Like hey, instead of a movie, let's just make a show, but let's keep it going. Same.
Pretty much, it's right after. So like they say names, they say things. You'll see people.
They name names.
You'll see some people. I don't want to give anything away.
All right. So
I suggest that you just at least watch the first episode.
Is it streaming on Peacock?
There's one thing that it's weird because Devon Sawa, just his acting in it is kind of goofy. I think
I forgot he's in it.
Why do you say Sawa?
Devon Sawa.
Oh,
Sawa.
Do you guys want to check out that new Black Friday movie with Devon Sawa and Bruce Campbell?
Amazing.
That horror comedy Black
Friday.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
Yeah, it's probably going to be terribly good. We should do something like that for a commentary. But
fucking, I suspect that fucking Bruce Campbell will be in it a total of 5 minutes altogether, and Devon Sawa will be in it probably
the main person
5 minutes altogether.
Well, we'll see.
You don't think Devon Sawa will be the main character?
Fucking, I don't know.
They should make Fred Durst the enemy in this one.
And Devon Sawa
meets
You know
him.
what? Devon Sawa should listen to Limp Bizkit and everything he does as like a continuity thing. Like in Chucky, he should be driving around Andy in his squad car in Chucky if he's a cop and be like, "Hey, you ever listening to Limp Bizkit?"
I've been wanting to watch that movie again.
So weird.
It's the weird.
I could have bought it for $5 because whenever
and you didn't?
went out. No, I don't know. It was Blu-ray for $5 and I didn't get it. I should have.
Fucking idiot.
You know what it reminds me of?
Fucking idiot.
I sent you guys a picture of it.
It's the weirdest throwaway line in that fucking movie about the Limp Bizkit thing. Like, and it reminds me of the Rage Carry 2. Remember when they're at the diner and Jason London just randomly says, "Man, does this place have anything good? Like some garbage? You like garbage? Oh yes, Shirley Manson, she rocks." That's it.
Amazing.
Like, that was fucking weird. And it's always so off-putting, but it's not nearly as off-putting as him just fucking bobbing his head to fucking, what song were they listening to of Limp Bizkit in the car? What was it? Nookie?
It was one of the songs from the fucking Unquestionable Truth.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You can't sleep, you're restless. I'm sorry, but top of the tree. Fucking payback's a bitch. Fucking, I forgot what it's called. The Channel.
You
or
send my
something.
kid to school so you can fuck him. It's so cringe, man.
Fucking, he's literally just ripping off Rage Against the Machine. Fucking, I don't think that's a bad album.
No, I don't. It's kind of fun, but it's a Rage album. He's trying to be Zach De La Rocca, 100%. Anyway, all right. Well, what else have you been watching, Mac? Anything else of note?
I was actually I want to check out that new Hellraiser they're talking about. Aren't they doing two?
There's two. So David Gordon
The
Green.
movie, and then they're doing an actual show.
The show is going to be on Show or
no,
Hulu.
are they going to do a movie with the girl or the trans?
No. The Hulu TV show is the trans girl playing the androgynous Pinhead, and that's the
It's
show.
not the movie.
No,
Isn't the,
The
book
movie-
based off? Isn't in the book? Isn't it Hellraiser like Pinhead a girl?
Pinhead's described. First of all, their name is just Lead Cenobite, and they're described as androgynous. They're almost kind of described female, but like I said, androgynous. That's why it's kind of hard to really shit on the whole
Fucking-
trans thing. It's
You
like,
know what? You know what they could have done? Fucking, they could have fucking made this lead Cenobite an androgynous misogynist. Fucking, you can't tell, but like fucking,
That sounds like
they hate the women's. Fucking,
that sounds like a
Pinhead.
band name. We should start a hardcore band, androgynous misogynist.
Oh yeah. Big
So
Chin.
anyway, totally unrelated. David Gordon Green is producing, the Halloween Kills director, a movie, an actual reboot movie, and they asked him about it in an interview he was doing for Halloween Kills promotion, and they asked him about, how does he feel about them also developing a TV show at the same time. And, he was open-minded about it. He's like, yeah, it's really weird, but it's kind of exciting too. It's like to have fucking two things out simultaneously, different formats off the same source material. So we'll let the
he
better
had to protect
man win.
himself. He showed his hand. He would say, "It's really excited too because I want to see a fucking big titty Stacy ass fucking fucking Pinhead with a cock. Fucking that's sexy shit."
I don't think they can really. I really think they're both in development at the same time, so they might not be able to take advantage of one or the other going first. But let's just say, the series was first, or the show. One of them could see what the other one did wrong and maybe make some last minute changes. I mean, ideally they would have a little bit of a gap, like even a year, but we'll see. But there's also got that Alien show that's going to be an FX show. Like, what the fuck is that? That sounds like bullshit to me. That's what Disney's doing with all his Fox properties. They're just making these silly TV shows on cable. But
Fucking silly. Fucking where else you gonna put it? Fucking cable can do all the cool shit now.
Didn't Clive Barker get the rights back or something?
oh no,
Wasn't he-
I
didn't
don't
he
think
get-
so.
Yeah, I think so. I think he got he finally got something. So I heard that he was gonna start going back into it.
It
That's
would
why
be
I was
interesting.
that's why I was confused on how they were making more Hellraiser stuff, and it wasn't him.
You know what they could do? I mean, the thing is the studio, if anything, they just own the Hellraiser name. So, and maybe they own Pinhead too. But he could literally just call something the Hellbound Heart, name it after his book, and the Pinhead in that doesn't have a name, just like the book. I mean, he could dance around that. You'd think, I would think, but.
He could
Who
dance
knows?
around it. With
He's basically John Carpenter in these scenarios now, hey, call him up, get a blessing, take a paycheck. But, I mean, I can kind of go through my list real quick if Mac's done. Do you want me to just knock it out, Mac, or do you have anything else?
Are we just talking about what we watched?
Yeah, so that's it.
Oh, just a bunch of horror movies. I went over a few, just trying to find some that haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Oh man, I went over. Fuck, I just went blank.
Yeah, I mean, you're fucking high as fuck. I'm not surprised. Look at you. You look
Yeah,
blank. You look pretty blank. You're fucking.
blank.
If you
fucking
could
blank
visualize the inner
I'm
workings
blank
of his mind, if you could visualize the inner workings of his mind, it's just,
Dude, what better movie?
listen. If you could visualize the inner workings of his mind, it's just a game of Pong. Fucking boop, boop, boop. Fucking the big of the dots, Big Chad.
This is literally the first Cinema Enema
Dude.
laugh episode.
Exactly.
You know,
Hey,
like,
listen, you cannot not have Halloween without Ernest Scared Stupid.
oh yeah.
You can't.
Fucking did you
Well,
watch
usually we
it?
talk about stuff. We talk about new stuff, but you rewatched Ernest Scared Stupid. I want to watch that. I wish it was streaming, but I have a Blu-ray somewhere.
That's what I was saying. We need to have something where we just sit here and watch a movie. We don't have to we don't have to do a commentary. We just fucking hang out.
They just watch us staring at a movie, not talking.
Kind of like the party thing that they put on Facebook.
Mac wants us to do that stupid shit that fucking Shia LaBeouf did, where you just showed his face while he's in the theater.
No, we all hang out. Yeah. We all just hang out, and there's people here, and we can talk.
Or Shia LaBeouf was watching his entire filmography, and he's like tearing up. He's like crying to his own movies and shit. Getting
But
emotional.
instead, we'll watch our YouTube videos,
yeah,
and we'll cry with all of our fucking Patreons.
Amazing.
that's
Amazing.
funny. Well, I'm gonna go through mine real quick. Some of them are just like 500 Days of Summer. That's all right. 6 out of 10. I watched Squid Game. Everybody was watching Squid Game, so
Oh yeah, I watched that too.
my lady wanted to watch, so I watched it. It was good. I liked it. I think
I heard
nothing.
that's based in communist pills.
That's like nobody knows. It's funny because there's already movies out like that.
Oh no, exactly. So
And
it
it's like,
basically
why did
it hit
this
this
movie make it?
It's huge, and nothing's ever going to live up to that hype. But it was like an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I was able to binge it, but yeah, it's like everybody was acting online like it was the best thing since sliced bread. But it hit such a broad commercial appeal where it was expanding out and hitting all these sort of casual viewers that most of those people don't realize that the death game format's been done a million times in movies. That's not to take away from it because it's still its own story, but the concept of it, of the death game type of thing, I mean,
How much you want to bet it was a bunch of fucking normies who like fucking thought like Squid Games and it shows like Japanese girls or
Korean.
Asian girl? Like, what is this? Fucking, they just clicked on because of that.
But
Chad shit.
I enjoyed it. But yeah, no, I was trying to tell some people, and that's not their fault. I'm not trying to be it's like I'm an elitist asshole. That's fine. Everybody gets introduced to something eventually. But yeah, no, it's everybody good for Squid Game. I'm not gonna shit on it because it's
That
like
was some hentai shit is the joke I was laying out there.
I feel like for like the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, Korean K-dramas and all that shit's gotten super popular. And so there's been more and more of a group of American people watching that shit on Netflix and getting into it. And now we had this show come out where it's really burst the bubble. And I think it's cool because maybe now the Western markets won't feel a need to remake a show with an English speaking audience. You know what I mean? Because anything else, they will be like, you would have saw a headline a week after Squid Game debuted that U.S. adaptation of Squid Game is coming. But this is so popular on a worldwide scale. It's like the #1 show across the world. Why would you? We don't need an American-based Squid Game now because everybody appreciates the Korean one. And I think we should appreciate these movies that come from other cultures. We shouldn't necessarily have to remake them all for a different audience and a different language and a different skin color. It's like, you know,
like
Asian.
that fucking Jake Gyllenhaal movie that's big on Netflix. Fucking where
Oh
he's
no,
just-
it's
he's on
it's
phone.
the you're talking about the. I think that movie was like fucking. That movie's. Is it Danish? It's still a white movie. It was like, but it was still like Danish or Finnish. I don't remember what country it came from, but I watched that
They
too.
strong to the finish because they eats me spinach.
And I haven't seen the original. I watched the Jake Gyllenhaal one, but from what I was reading online, it's pretty much beat for beat the exact same fucking movie. And I'm like, if that's the case,
Is that the
just-
one where he's like the they call
Dispatch?
him? Okay.
Yeah, The Dispatch. And it's one of those movies where the whole thing takes place in one location. It's like the whole
Kinda
movie.
like phone booth.
Worse because he's literally just sitting in a chair the whole movie, but it's good. It's good enough. It's fine and it's entertaining. But like Joseph Gordon-Levitt put out an Amazon movie that was kind of like that about a flight that was getting plane jacked by terrorists, and the whole movie takes place in the cockpit. Like you don't even see all the terrorist action.
Well,
like
if you're
Air
gonna
Force One.
jack the plane, where would you else would you go?
The
But
cockpit.
the cockpit. You fucking.
It's not like Air Force
Jack-
Kind of
One.
like that movie with fucking Ryan Reynolds where he's in the coffin. the
Oh,
whole
that is
time.
the
Amazing.
Buried or
He's-
whatever it is. or
Yeah,
Quote-
he's
whatever.
pretty much in the coffin the whole fucking time. That kind of fucking made me have a heart attack.
I remember when that movie came out, I thought like that was just a documentary about fucking Ryan Reynolds' career at that point.
Yeah. No, but so yeah, like whereas Whereas a movie like Passenger 57 or Air Force One, you would be seeing all the exciting shit go on in the cabin of the terrorists, like rounding up the passengers and killing people. No, the whole movie, you're in the spot of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's the pilot, and so it never leaves him. So you're listening to what the terrorists are saying when they're knocking on the door, trying to get in the door and take the cockpit. You know, it works. It's pretty tense. And then another movie, Locke. Did you guys ever see that with what the fuck is his name? Bane. You know, the mask. What's his name? Tom Hardy. Did you guys ever see that?
No.
It's an indie movie too, and it's a movie that takes place all on a car ride, and it's just Tom Hardy in his car driving from one place to another.
Does he stop at Hardee's and get a fucking nice grilled cheese melt?
No, because it takes place in England, so it would be Carl's Jr. But anyway,
would Speed be that kind of movie?
No, well, no, Speed cuts to different places, and
Right.
there's more of and Speed has one of the greatest like intro fucking scenes ever with the whole building and Jeff Daniels getting shot or hurt. I mean, no, it's not. The movie starts with Tom Hardy driving in a frantic pace at night from one place to the other, and we don't know what's going on, but he's sweating bullets. And the whole movie is him in the car on this drive, like no real cuts or anything. And he's getting phone call after phone call after phone call. One of them's from like his wife. Oh my
God, true Kino. So amazing.
But it's one of those movies where you just feel stressed. Like I feel like I'm in his spot and I feel fucking stressed as fuck. And you know,
well, you'd have to, because that's just that's true cinema right there. Fucking all taking place in the car, right? Fucking brilliant, true Kino.
It's not ideal for a movie, I don't think usually, but I do think it's talent if for 90 minutes you can stay in one location and you can watch the movie and not really lose your interest. I mean, it might not have much rewatch value, but you know, they're all okay movies. I watched One Missed Call, the original Japanese one, the Takashi Miike one. It's a 6 out of 10. I mean, to me, like that's like the peak of the Asian horror craze. Because, like, remember, it's like 20 years ago, Asian horror was the fucking thing. Now it's all about Korean dramas, but Asian horror, and they all kind of were the same. They were all kind of like The Ring, where they involved something supernatural. And to me, One Missed Call, it just took it to this kind of stupid level. Like, oh, cell phone, this technology horror thing. And, oh, no, I'm getting a phone call from me in the future, and it's predicting my death. And it's kind of stupid, but it is all right. I watched... what the fuck is The Guilty? Oh, that's the movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah. I watched it, and it was like a 6 out of 10. And then
I look like LeVar Burton from fucking...
fucking lit as fuck, man.
Yeah.
You guys ever see Dark Angel?
Fucking,
Dark Angel with Dolph Lundgren?
No.
And it's originally called I Come in Peace in Other Territories. It's the most bonkers, overtly 80s movie you'd ever see. It's like a buddy cop movie. But Dolph Lundgren plays a cop and his partner gets killed and he wants vengeance from these like drug people. They're fighting drugs, the war on drugs at home. But then an alien comes from outer space and it's like killing everybody by injecting them with like heroin. And so they think it's the drug cartel, but it's really this alien drug guy. And then there's another like space jockey, kind of like Suburban Commando, coming from space to find the alien that came to space, injecting everybody with drugs. And it turns out he's like a drug dealer from outer space. And the cop from the outer space planet came who was hunting him down. It's really fucking bizarre. And this guy, he injects him with this weird cock thing and overdoses him with like a heroin. And he's like getting some kind of supply from him to take back to his home planet. And he always says the same thing.
There's a cop coming at us. The war on drugs extends to the stars. Basically.
Exactly. And Dolph Lundgren has to fucking, you know, he finds himself in a situation. He has to kick his ass and kill him. And it's a really, dude, it's like 3 different genres in one. And every time this alien kills somebody, he always says the same thing. He's got like a really weird, overdubbed, distorted voice. I come in peace. Right before he fucking like injects him with his little cock and then kills him. And then
they're trying to fucking get it into us, like never trust fucking anybody coming. They always tell you come in peace before they stab you in the back. Fucking
it was so beyond stupid, but it was impossible to hate because it was so fucking 80s and just so stupid. And it's a 6 out of 10. And at the end, when Dolph Lundgren kills the bad guy, you know, he says, I come in peace. And then Dolph Lundgren goes, well, I'm sending you back in pieces. He'll fucking something stupid and he kills him. But it was fun. Let me see here. I watched a whole bunch of Halloween movies. Oh, you ever seen that movie Year of the Dragon?
I haven't.
It's a Michael Cimino movie. He's the guy that did Deer Hunter, right?
Mm.
And Year of the Dragon came out in 1985, and this is like peak Mickey Rourke. So it's a Mickey Rourke movie, and it's a noir movie. It's about Mickey Rourke, who's this cop, and he's working in Chinatown, and there's a whole bunch of like, it's about these crime syndicates going on in Chinatown, and all that stuff. And he's playing a guy that's supposed to be way older, and he's got like this dyed gray hair, and it looks kind of awkward. But the movie's kind of fun. It's very flawed, but there's something about it that's really cool, and it's a 7 out of 10. I recommend checking it out. It's really neat.
I'm enjoying watching Mac.
Yeah, he's
Hey, you know what's funny is that Paranormal Activity movie just came out too.
I saw
yeah.
that. I might watch that.
Where's it streaming?
Tonight or something.
So I want to see what that's. I want to watch that.
It's on Paramount Plus. I still have my trial because I got it for the Halloween.
What's it called? Paranormal or?
I'm waiting for them to go into like Amityville territory where we have like Paranormal Activity Dollhouse and Paranormal Activity fucking Lockbox, and they just go into like.
What is it called?
I'm sure we could Google it.
It's not important. It's called Paranormal Activity. Fucking.
No, there's a name after it.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
Stupid as fuck.
They're gonna be able to find it.
Oh, Next of Kin. Next of Kin.
Oh, Next of Kin's the Australian horror movie that was next on my list. Are you psychic? That's what you talk about. Paranormal Activity. It's called Next of Kin too.
Yes.
Okay. Well, anyway, funny enough, that was the next movie I watched. I watched that as part of the Joe Bob, that Next of Kin Australian movie, which was fucking whacked out, but I liked it. It was a 6 out of 10. But I can see how that one's an acquired taste. I mean, I bet you that one's all over the map. What'd you think of that one? Did you see that one?
Fucking, I don't know what you're talking about. Fucking, is this an old?
It was on Joe Bob. I think maybe season 3. It's an Australian horror movie called Next of Kin, and it came out in 1982, and I watched as part of Joe Bob.
Fucking, I don't remember.
I'm looking on it right now. You did watch it. You rated it 4 out of 10.
That's why I don't remember.
It's fucking bizarre as fuck. It's kind of cool, but yeah, it's really long and really slow. But anyway, it was all right. And what else did I watch? I watched Angel as part of Joe Bob. That was a 5 out of 10. It wasn't
fucking low T, the low T score. Fucking Angel, Big Chad, Big Stacy. Shit, she's a Big Stacy. She's a hooker by day or a hooker by night, a schoolgirl by day.
It is kind of funny. They didn't show her naked. I get it. She was portraying a much younger girl, but you think in a movie like that, like it was trying to build, you think they would have went there like Linda Blair style.
They did not need to. Fucking.
It wasn't as sleazy as I thought it was going to be, to be honest with you, but
fucking it could have been sleazier. We needed more sleaze.
I mentioned on a previous podcast that I watched James and the Giant Peach for the first time, 6 out of 10.
Beta.
I watched Dune, the new Dune with your babe Zendaya.
Fucking Zendaya.
It was in it for 5 minutes.
Zendaya. Fucking big shit. And see all those memes, all the people were like fucking, it shows the first like fucking like 1/3 of the movie or fucking like 2/3 of the movie. It's like fucking boring. And then the very end, it's like fucking like 10 stars on Letterboxd. Fucking that meme on the Movie Cucks group, Big Chad movie group. Everybody join it. Fucking that's when Zendaya showed up. She showed up and saved the whole film. Big Stacy.
So I really liked it. It's really convoluted, but it is one of those things where you have to accept that you're going to get like 1/3 of a movie because it's not like Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, or Empire Strikes Back, where it's a trilogy, but you actually get a beginning, middle, and end. Each part has an actual arc. And no, this literally feels like they have a giant 7-hour movie ahead of us. And we got the first third of it, and it just kind of ends, right? You didn't really feel like there was any resolution to the contained story we got, right? It just kind of like it felt like it was just ramping up, and it just ended. So I really liked it. It's visually stunning. Denis Villeneuve, so far he can't really do any wrong, but I feel like
I think you are saying his name completely wrong. I think it's Denis Villeneuve or something like that.
I mean, he can say it however he wants. That's fine. I mean, I know how it's really said. Anyway, I don't know. But anyway, I feel like I'm not really going to be able to give it a fair grade until we have at least. I don't know if they're gonna do 2 or
Fucking
3 parts.
Zendaya showed up at the end, and she had like really pretty blue eyes. It fucking 10 out of 10 to me. Fucking
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Amazing.
You know what you know what classic I watched for the first time? And
I actually thought that was. I gave that a 7. It was like fucking through most of Dune. I said Doom. I was like fucking man. I think this I got like halfway. No, I was like around the halfway mark. I'm like looking. I'm like fucking. I think this might be too fucking dorky for me. Like this is fucking like this shit's too nerdy for me. Like fucking. I kept like the scenes where they were fighting, and it was like fucking. I kept thinking like this is as close as I'll ever get to like understanding how a Star Wars fan sees Star Wars.
Minus all the space fucking TIE fighter fighting, it is very Star Wars. But you know, George Lucas, he had to have been influenced by the Dune series, right? Because there's like 10 or 12 of those books or something. So I mean, they came first, but
it literally is fucking Star Wars. If fucking he has the benefit of fucking we saw his movie first.
Yeah, but like I said, I think I gave it an 8, but that is because the movie's just stunning. Like all his shit, it's like Blade Runner 2049. That movie's so visually stunning. It almost makes the whole movie because it's just a feast for the eyes. I mean, I love the way that movie looks, and this movie was no different. But I have a feeling I'll have a more accurate rating once I see part 2 or whenever they decide to stop it. Anyway, the classic movie, I'm almost done.
I'm hearing that fucking part 2 is going to be the last.
I mean, they could fit it into 2. That's fine. I'm not saying they have to stretch it out.
But so he's saying he wants to do like another arc, which would be the 3rd movie. But it's hard telling if they'd let him do it.
I don't know the entire story because there's like 10 or 12 books. There's probably a lot of stories to be told. But I think what he's doing with 2 movies and he's going to do in about 5 hours worth of total time is what David Lynch did with his. Like, you know, it's just like, hey, I'm going to actually blow this up. I've never watched the David Lynch Dune because it's just had this reputation it's shit. And I know David Lynch doesn't like it, but obviously people like GOAT really like it. So maybe I should give it a chance finally. But I don't know. I didn't want to watch it before I saw this one because I have a feeling this is probably going to be the better one. This is a movie that's probably going to benefit from a modern update. And it's not like, it doesn't look like shit. I know this director and his cinematography that he uses is always really gorgeous. So I don't imagine it's not as good. But I saw The Devil.
You know what I thought though? Like Oscar Isaac is in Dune, and I thought like fucking that dude has like a really cinematic look. Fucking like in this movie, it's like fucking. You know what would have been dank if this Villeneuve, whatever his name is, if he was the one they hired to do fucking a Metal Gear Solid movie. And then I went crazy. Like I was like, imagine if Hollywood let them make like this like on the same caliber as Dune or Doom. What's it called again? Dune. Fucking, why are they so similar, those titles? But fucking it's like he's doing that, but it's like on the same caliber and it's totally fucking serious. And it's like, oh, we got Hideo Kojima. He's basically rewriting the scripts in a movie form. Basically, he's just retelling the story in a different way for the movie. And it's like we're working really, and like the idea of like Hollywood taking that series with all the weird anime shit in there, super serious, like kind of blew my fucking mind. That would never happen, but it'd be amazing.
I think when just the notion that it's a video game adaptation sets a movie up for failure, but let's pretend nobody knew Metal Gear Solid was a video game. And if you could get someone like Dennis Vanilla Wafer, whatever his name is, if you could get someone like him on board and they really make it look gorgeous and they do the story right and they don't...
A fucking guy with a huge ass bandana because he's got infinite ammo in the movie.
Yeah. Whatever they got to do.
With a fucking cigarette in his mouth.
I'm just saying, like, I just don't know why it could be good. The source material's there. Like, even if they wanted to strip away all the silly Japanese shit, they have a good story there if they want to make it more grounded in reality or whatever. But you got mechs, right? It's going to be kind of hard to escape it too much. But, like, I don't know. Or they could sort of meet in the middle and have some of that camp and kind of make it kind of an Escape from New York and kind of make them sort of a Snake Plissken kind of, over the top character that's not quite realistic. I just, somebody could do it right. And, I don't think Oscar Isaac's the guy for it, but I mean,
I can see
they could always prove you wrong.
Just make Lethal Weapon 6 and that'll be it.
They were going to. Anyway, I saw The Devil after this movie's literally been sitting on my Blu-ray shelf for 10 years. I finally watched it. And I loved it, man. And I looked afterwards and I saw Zach gave it a 5 out of 10. Like, how did you not love this movie, man? 8 out of 10.
That movie was being fucking just talked about to death, and fucking everybody was talking about how it fucking basically cures cancer. And then I watched it and I was like, this overhyped. I was underwhelmed.
I remember it was hugely talked about, but I knew what I was getting into, just a revenge movie. And it really is a
What is it?
good I Saw the Devil, the Kim Ji-woon movie from Korea. Came out in 2010. But it's just sort of the revenge movie to end all revenge movies. It's like amped to 13. It's so much fun. It's just about the chase and the violence. Like, it's not supposed to, I don't think it's meant to win any fucking writing awards or anything else, but it's super fun. And
you should probably watch it again, not fucking expecting like it's going to cure cancer.
No. It's just super fun, man. Like, just over the top violence. Like, when he takes that hammer and hits that guy in the fucking dick over and over again, it's just, yeah, it's a good time. And
Until he comes.
And the main guy in it is the dude from Squid Game, the dude that's behind the mask, the black mask. I'm like, but no, it's really fun, and I like the actors in it. I like the bad guy that he's pursuing the whole movie. It's a lot of fun. It's an 8 out of 10, easy. Besides an Ozzy Osbourne biography I watched on A&E that was just really good, I watched the new Halloween Kills. So we're going to get into that, and we'll take a small break. As we do, we'll come back. We'll talk about what has everybody fucking arguing all over the Facebooks and stuff, Halloween Kills. So we'll be right back.
Hey, what are you guys doing out here?
It's Halloween. We've been trick-or-treating.
Are you alone?
There's a creepy man in a white mask,
Where?
and he keeps like trying to play hide and seek with us.
Where did you see him? Look! Run! Go home now!
Unlock the door! No! Come on!
We killed Michael.
My grandmother set the fire.
No one told you.
Told me what?
Michael Myers is alive.
A man couldn't have survived that fire. "40 years ago, the boogeyman came for us. We are the survivors of Michael Myers.
Lori, what do we do?
We fight.
Mom,
Our family will kill him.
we're gonna hunt him down and we're gonna put an end to this.
He is not going to stop killing until we stop him.
If you track Michael's victims, that's a straight line to Michael's childhood home.
Someone's in our house.
He's coming for me, but I'm coming for him.
You wanna kill someone? Take me! Michael!
I want to take his mask off and see the life leave his eyes.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Hey, really quick before we get into the Halloween Kills discussion, I forgot to bring up, did you guys jump on any of those sales, like the Shocktober Arrow sales or the Scream Factory stuff or anything?
I got the Arrow. Fucking I got
Me too.
Glass House on the left. I got fucking Woman, the Lucky McKee movie, and fucking I got Cruising.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Cruising for a Bruising.
Cruising would have been cool. I bought a slew of stuff, too. So I bought this movie called Cops versus Thugs. It's a Japanese Yakuza movie that was highly regarded. And I kind of want to get into that stuff because I love Yakuza. And I like this. I just want to get into it's a whole subgenre of movies that are really popular. It's kind of like equivalent to mafia movies in America. They're real popular. Speaking of which, I also bought the entire Battles Without Honor and Humanity series. Look at this. This is like Japanese Godfather. And it's supposedly like Tarantino and all these directors over here are really inspired by these movies too, and they're real famous for that. But there's a shit ton of these movies, and it's like the first 5 are all a series. Like Godfather 1, it's all one arc, and then they have a little box set. Then they had 3 more movies that are starring the same people, but they're all isolated cases, and they just kind of released this as its own little separate thing with 3 discs.
I also got the fucking Deadly Friend, the Wes Craven fucking Scream Factory.
How much is that? How much was that?
Fucking $32 for a Blu-ray. Their pricing is fucking ridiculous.
So you didn't get it on sale then?
Fucking no, I couldn't.
Yeah, I would wait to that. I would get it if it was on sale. But and lastly, from Arrow, and I got one of those shitty blue cases. All these came in the clear cases, thank God, except for Animal Factory with our buddy Furlong. Oh, yeah. Look, he looks fucking weird. Look at that Furlong.
Looks like a Stacy.
Yeah, look at Trejo.
I would fuck. Remember that Korean Furlong chick I sent you a picture of? I want to fuck her. I want to fuck her so bad and pretend she's daddy.
So I kind of wish when I made that order for more clear cases a few months ago, I would have bought extra ones because now I have to order 1, but they're out of stock. So I've got a blue case here annoying the fuck out of me for now.
What a fucking autistic motherfucker.
Yeah, it's weird. All right, so whenever Matt gets back, we'll actually talk about the Halloween shit, man.
He's amazing.
Where did he go? We'll just start talking about it. I don't care. So we're going to talk.
He was there. He was just camouflaged. He was a fucking iguana over there.
Oh, my. Anyway, a chameleon, you mean?
I realized it, iguana.
I was literally just scooted over.
He just you could see his tail come out, unfurl like the fucking alien. If you were watching, you looked away, but he just came out of the shadows like that scene.
Anyway, Halloween Kills. I kind of feel like we're maybe behind on this because just to give you guys an example of such, Josh James was supposed to be on the show with us and he kind of had to bail last minute. And I was asking for last minute fucking anybody want to jump in his seat and be our 4th. And Goat even said, I'm fucking sick of talking about that movie. Oh man, are we fucking over it?
You know what's funny is I remember back when the last one came out, you guys, every one of you guys, including Josh James, was fucking Josh James. I remember he went and saw it in the theater. He was like, oh man, he was really stoked on it. I enjoyed it, guys. I enjoyed it. And then within a span of 3 days, he was letting us know that man, I've watched it 3 times now. And I'm just right away, I'm just why?
Oh, are you talking about Halloween Kills?
No, the last one.
He did that with Halloween Kills too.
The one before that.
The one before, he's I've been watching it 3. I watched it 3 times and it gets worse every time. And then Aaron chimed in. I watched it 3 times and it gets worse every time. I'm why?
Oh no!
It came out 3 months ago. Why the fuck have you guys watched?
I never fucking said that. Here's what I said. So I watched Halloween 2018 when it was in theaters, and then I did pre-order the 4K, and then I watched the 4K when I got it, and then I watched the commentary for you guys. So I watched it 3 times.
I've still literally seen the movie 1 time, fucking without talking over it.
It got worse each time, and I watched them kind of spread out.
So I was the whole time I was why the fuck are you watching this movie over and over again in such a short span of time? Yeah, and then it was fucking you're gonna get. Of course, the movie's gonna get worse every time you watch it.
Well, he said that about this one. Halloween Kills came out, and it had been out for a few days, 2 days, and he said, "Well, I've watched it 3 times now." I'm like, I thought that's.
I mean, I've seen it 3 times.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Now, I did watch it twice, back-to-back nights. I did, and that's unheard of for me because
I've still just watched it 1 time.
Well, the 3rd time was with Zach when we did the episode.
I don't think we watch it when we're doing a commentary though. We're just talking over the.
So I watched it. I watched Halloween Kills, and when I watched the first one by comparison, 2018, I was kind of a 6 maybe on it. I didn't hate it, but how you watch something initially in the theaters and whatever, and yeah, each time I'm at a 4 with 2018. It literally went down from a 5. Then to a 4, and I think that's where I'm at with it. And after I saw 2018 in the theaters, the more I sat on it, I already liked it less the next day. It's one of those things after it all kind of settled. This one was different. I watched Halloween Kills, And I couldn't stop thinking about it. Like I was just thinking about it like all the whole next day. And then my brother came over and he was drinking and I just brought it up. He's like, "You want to watch it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll watch it again." And we watched it together. And I liked it just as much the second time around, if not, but it already had more like staying power comparatively. But I know a lot of people hate this movie. But
let's get into the plot. This one is all fucking basically. I was shocked because I wanted to go into this movie completely like blind. I didn't watch any trailer. The fucking only trailer, like basically when I got Peacock, you know that like you hover over a movie and it starts showing it.
Yeah.
They started showing like the fucking like the little girl who's now grown up and she's like fucking, "Oh kids, fucking get away from the swing set. Fucking there's a killer out here." And right away I'm like fucking, she's not a very good actor.
Well, she got out of acting. She was like a Real Housewives.
That's why it's so weird. It's like you didn't get the original Tommy Doyle. You wanted an actor for him. Fucking you got her. This is a big fucking movie. Like fucking this isn't straight to video. Fucking why not just recast him?
Yeah.
I was confused.
The thing is the girl. You know, the girl they cast or whatever. She technically was still somewhat in the industry. I don't think she was really an actor anymore, but she basically was a Hollywood bitch that married somebody rich, and she's on that Real Housewives of fucking Bel Air, whatever that fucking show is. So she was still kind of in the industry, so maybe she was an easy yes.
I take it all back. She deserves She deserves. Oh yeah, that is fucking dang.
But no. I guess we need to go through the story, but I'm so tempted to just keep talking about it before we really get into it. But I wish we could have had Riverman on here too. I asked him, and it wasn't a good night for him. But Riverman would have been fun because I know he hates the movie. He fucking hated it, and he called me. He saw it before I did, and he's like, "Oh, I wanted to talk about Halloween Kills and see what your thoughts on it was." And hadn't watched it yet. And then he called me back the next day after I watched it, and I was like, "Okay, tell me what you think." He's like, "Oh," and sometimes he feels like we're always going to be synced, like we're gonna think so. He's like, "Oh, it's so shit, I can't wait to talk about that piece of shit Halloween Kills." I'm like, "Man, you're gonna fucking hate me because I enjoyed my time with it, but so many people hate it."
It's a fucking slasher movie. It's more of a, it basically when the first one came out, they greenlit part 2 and they wanted to make it more like Jason, like because the Jason movies were hitting big. And it's like, oh, we gotta climb that. And I think this movie actually does fucking part 2 better than the original part 2 did.
And you know what's funny though is this is why I was talking to Riverman, because the day before I watched Halloween Kills and I couldn't talk about that movie yet, he also told me, he's like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to say I rewatched Halloween 2, the original, and I finally get what you're talking about because I always loved Halloween 2 for its absurdness." He's like, "I really like Halloween 2. It's like, I never really thought it was that good, but no, I know why you like it so much. I loved it." And so fast forward to the next day when he's shitting all over Halloween 2 for all the reasons why he's shitting on Halloween Kills for all the reasons you think he'd like it because he just told me he liked Halloween 2. And he's like, it's not Halloween. I liked it better when it was suspense and there wasn't so much gore and the acting was terrible. I'm like, you just told me yesterday you liked Halloween 2 now. Halloween 2 is fucking out there. It's just, it's ridiculous. It's Jason Voorhees. He's killing people with syringes. He's fucking boiling chicks with big tits in hot tubs. It's not like the first one. I mean, he's kind of creeping and stuff like that in the first one, but and the acting, people are really blinded by the fact that Donald Loomis, who's a great actor, was in those first movies and he's really good. But are the other actors really great in Halloween and Halloween 2? No, totally. PJ Souls is a great actor. No, she's shit. Why is this so offensive in Halloween Kills? I think people just have this weird fucking elitist dick energy with modern movies, and in my opinion, it's like if you just check your brain at the door and just let the original Halloween live on its own island and respect it for what it is, and don't expect any movie to do what that does again, you're gonna have fun with it. Halloween Kills was a slasher, and
you know what though? You know what's funny is fucking I just had a great point and I probably lost it.
But
go ahead.
People, I told him, I said, Todd, you need to take a step back from it. I think you're too convoluted and you're looking at all these Halloween movies that have come before you, which is funny.
Right. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say most of the sequels in this, they're mostly shit. Like fucking,
they're mostly shit.
Most of the fucking. That's why I'm so surprised that fucking people seem to have like a high stand. Like to me, it's like if you compare this is probably one of the better sequels in the whole series.
It is, and at the end of the show, I want to go. We'll each rank them because I already have my ranking in my head. But yeah, and I said, take a step back. Stop looking so closely at the fucking mountain of movies and remakes that have been, made, and they all give you this idea of Michael Myers is. Because you got to remember, they've created a new timeline. The only events that matter in this new movie is 1963 when he killed his sister, 1978 when he escaped the hospital, and that's it. And now 2018 Halloween. That's it. So if we're just paying attention to the first Halloween movie, and like I said, just do your best to suspend disbelief and pretend no other movie makes sense. Why does this have to be out of character for Michael Myers? Because remember, the only thing that we know about Michael Myers is 1963 and 1978. So how they filled it in with those flashback scenes and shit of what happened immediately after he disappeared and got shot out of the window.
Yeah, let's talk about like so they kind of like fucking
go through the movie and then we'll talk about it.
The beginning of the movie is very fan servicey, where it's like fucking let's go back to the night and show them scenes they didn't see from the original. So like we're seeing that scene where like the cops heading him off and he's chasing them down the same alleyway that we see at the beginning of fucking Halloween 2, which is funny because it's like. I thought we weren't acknowledging Halloween 2, but they're showing the fucking. But then you're using like the fucking. Oh, I get it. Like fucking. Oh, it's still the same neighborhood, but it's like fucking. We didn't see that fucking place till Halloween. Fuck you with this shit. And then it's like fucking. And then they set up the cop who like fucking. He tries to kill him, but fucking he got away. So now he's regretting that all of his fucking all of his days. And fucking. I was a little confused by how they kept jumping around at the beginning because it's like it showed like. Okay, jump back to flashback because I noticed it was weird because like okay they're doing the same thing that the original did where this one takes place right after. I didn't know that going in because like I said I want to stay away from it, and like right away I'm like really like because I was just like if I was doing this I'd probably just set it like a year or two later and just like pick up. It's like now I already know it's gonna have to happen right after, so fucking Lori's gonna be in the fucking hospital again. She's gonna be laying in the
third
fucking
movie
hospital.
with the hospital.
Well,
third remake.
I liked it. I'm like I like that she was pretty much.
I like that she was out of the movie. Really.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
I thought from the commercials it made me think like she was gonna get fucking stitched up.
No,
and that'd be it. She'd fucking go out and cut. I was like, how is she gonna do this with a fucking stab wound?
Old ass decrepit. Jamie Lee Curtis, Activia Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode, it was where she needed to be, in the hospital.
Fucking, it's not like you could have rewrote it to where she was stuck anywhere. The hospital again. Fucking the Rob Zombie's remake, they were in the hospital. Like,
right. This is the third remake of a hospital.
I don't want to see any more fucking Halloween 2 in a hospital.
But where would she go? Where would she go after the events of the first one?
No,
you're saying
police station. The police station.
Let's just say she didn't get.
No. You wanted it to jump a year. She could have been in the hospital, but we don't even see it naturally. You just wanted to jump.
Exactly.
Well,
go to the police station, have him locked up, do like a fucking Terminator thing. He's fucking breaking out of the police station. This time, don't show him like huddled up, fucking with his mask on, like in part 4, part 5.
Part 5.
You're
fucking all sad and shit, playing with his chains.
No, you're right. It could have been the same night, and maybe they could have implied that her wounds weren't as severe as they made them out to be in this movie, and she could have gotten all stitched up, and then we were at the hospital getting questioned, and she was not that, she had already gotten repaired. Yeah, it could have been like that. It could have turned into like Assault in Precinct 13 with Michael Myers.
The way it kept jumping back, though, it showed that shit, and then it introduced the survivors, which we got Tommy Doyle, fucking Lindsay, the fucking girl.
Which is weird, man. Can I stop? We got to say, I feel bad because if you guys watched Red Letter Media, did you guys watch their coverage on this movie?
I didn't want to till we watched it.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I don't want to feel like I'm retreading what they're saying. But the thing is everything they said is everything you guys and me are going to think. We already thought. But yeah, so they made some of these points too. But it's really silly. And like I said, I don't let this stuff bother me, but the movie is campy. Everybody's shitting on this movie because of how silly and how unrealistic it is and how many but who gives a shit? It's a slasher. So Tommy Doyle, he's up there like some crazy guy, like, hey, I do this shit every year. Like I come up here and here's the drunk guy talking about what happened 40 years ago. Get over it, pal. And it's weird. Why would he go up there and honor the 3 people that died 40 years ago? Why? And they act like it's such a big deal. And they acknowledge that in the first movie. They even made that joke, right? When the kids are walking home and they were sort of self-aware, like, what? I mean, 3 people were murdered 40 years ago. What's the big fucking deal? Because since then, in the 80s and shit, we had the rise of the fucking serial killer, the Ted Bundys and all these people that killed tens and tens and tens and tens of people.
It was a way they had to write out the fact that, like, oh, if none of the sequels exist, then what does it matter if he only killed like 3 or 4 people that night and then just been locked up the whole time?
But now it's like a really big deal all of a sudden. Like Tommy Doyle's been fucking lamenting that night for fucking years. Like, it's a huge thing. But who gives a shit? They have to sit there and amp it up. It has to matter. But
see,
anyway,
I was confused because the way they brought it in, I thought they were jumping to like, oh, because it's already taken place right after the first one. I thought like, they're jumping.
Oh, like it was going on at the same time. You didn't realize.
Yeah, I thought like at first I thought like, did they just establish that the survivors are in the future? So like now we know they survived this movie. Like why would they do that? The way they were jumping around was all confusing. For some reason.
I didn't find it confusing. So were you drunk or high or
probably?
Okay, so I was following it pretty fine, but I just think it's weird how, like I said, the point I was making with Todd earlier was like, dude, fucking zoom out. Really try to ignore that 2 and every other movie, every other remake doesn't exist. And people that are bitching that this doesn't feel like Halloween to them, I'm like, how do we know? If we're only paying attention to Halloween 1, how do we know what Michael Myers' character is? I mean, how do we?
Also, I try to say like, you hear in the first one, Dr. Loomis talk about you don't know what evil is, and like telling them like you don't know what the fuck he is, and they're all like, it's just some guy in a fucking mask. Like, he's not going to do anything. And he tries to warn them constantly. And then you finally get that in this movie. You see, like,
exactly.
what the true evil is.
You can't please people because to me, this was what Dr. Loomis, like you said,
was talking about.
He's just a force. He's a force of evil. And it's almost like maybe he's ethereal, maybe he's like paranoid, but we don't really know. They're just kind of hinting on it, like he's a force of just pure evil that just kills.
Yeah, especially when you see the expression that was like really big for the first movie, like on Dr. Loomis, when he looks outside and he's like, he's not there, and his face when he comes back in, like he's just looking out into the fucking,
the abyss
out there because he knows he's fucking just out there.
Dude, like
the abyss stares back at him.
Really quick, when you said I don't know what evil is, it reminds me of in Halloween 2, it's not as cool as I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight. Death. You don't know what death is. Like, you're a fucking crazy old man.
He never said that, did he?
Yeah, he just looks at him like,
yeah, he did.
It never happened. Never happened. Part 2 didn't.
You know what's funny?
Yeah, you're right.
You know, it's funny too because fucking Donald fucking was always drunk off wine. Like, I guess he did a lot of his scenes where he was just shit-faced drunk.
He does seem like he's drunk on wine.
The scene when you see him going up to why are all the patients out of their rooms and they're out in the fucking grass or whatever? When he's out, when they were doing that scene, he was fucking just drunk off fucking wine, I guess.
He looks drunk off. Good.
Donald Pleasance is a big Chad. He probably like he always say they'd be like, "Fucking, you gonna come back and play doctor? I will go till 27." And like is the way he always said, it's like they're gonna play me get fucking drunk, like fucking these idiots.
It's crazy too because you would think that like with different people making these newer movies that he wouldn't be the Dr. Loomis.
And the thing is he wasn't even sold on the original because he was more of a theater actor.
Yeah, because they paid him. They paid him $20,000 to do that,
and he really didn't want. But then the guy fucking did like every movie until he died. You know,
fucking. Let's go ahead and talk about that fan service because we get Dr. Loomis in this movie, and when he first shows up during the flashback, I thought they had fucking
de-aging.
I thought they literally defaked his face.
And everybody did. Everybody was online bitching about it, like when the movie first came out, like, oh god, they did fucking really shitty fucking de-aging effects. And I'm like, everybody was just waiting to pounce on the movie. That just goes to show, like, no, dude, that guy was an actor, and they fucking got a great double. And I thought it was great.
If you listen to this Exploited Cinema when we talked about it, I literally thought they fucking they deep faked his face, and now they were like, no, that was a real guy, and I was like, What?
He's already
There
doing
was something.
He's already doing
They did
conventions.
something to his
No,
face. There's something.
Nah, he's already doing conventions. He's already doing conventions too off that fucking bit. But I thought the flashbacks were really well done. I could have almost seen a sequel. They could have almost just made a sequel to Halloween 1 in that vein, you know, taking place in the 70s because it looked fantastic.
You know what I thought?
You know, I wouldn't mind seeing something like the way that they made the film look too. Like, they made it look grainy and shit.
Oh yeah, it looked good.
It looked fucking like I would love to see them just be like, you know what? Let's just release this fucking movie.
Like I said,
a remake of the first one.
All that flashback shit, I would have loved to have just them remade Halloween 2 set in 1978, and it'd be a different Halloween 2. Like that would have been fucking awesome too, because it was really good. And but like I said, I got to get this point across before we move on. But like I said, I think
that's the whole Halloween Kills. He's like, he tells the story to the fucking kid.
Oh, he's grandpa.
The kid who finds him.
He's grandpa.
No, it's not his grandpa. At the beginning of Halloween Kills, the kid's like walking, trying to talk to his girlfriend. And he's like, oh shit, the cop is over there fucking dead. Are you okay? And then he grabs him and he's like, I'm going to end him or whatever. And then it shows the flashback.
God, you guys remember too much from this.
So how funny would that be if the whole movie was just a flashback? The whole fucking flashback.
I know,
of Halloween 2.
It becomes like Princess Bride, where Peter Falk's telling a story.
Yeah, he's telling a story.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be so fucking funny.
But like I was trying to tell Todd, he was mad that it doesn't feel like Halloween. But like I said, if you can really just imagine that all we have is Halloween 1, how do we know Michael Myers wouldn't be acting like this in Halloween Kills if this is the only follow-up? Because what was he doing in Halloween 1? He was on a killing rampage going from house to house. He only happened to kill 3 people, and you know, Loomis shot him out of a window. How do we know he wouldn't have kept doing the same thing all night long? You know what I mean? So
you know what I would have liked to have seen though? I would have liked to have seen him in a car.
You saw that in the first movie. Oh,
the stalking, like the stalk. I feel like if you would have thrown that in this movie, people would have bitched.
But like
stalking him.
If Michael Myers was locked up for 40 years and he really is a force of evil and he's just thinking about killing or whatever, why wouldn't he get out and just fucking do what he did in Halloween Kills? Why?
You know, it's funny. Like flash forward to the fucking the cop in the hospital's like, no, he's fucking getting fed. The more he kills, the stronger he gets.
I do think, like I said, the whole movie, don't get me wrong, the whole movie is silly as fuck. Like there's so many like things in the movie, but it doesn't take away from the enjoyment of what I am watching. But yeah, the whole thing when him and the the cop and her are in the hospital and they're doing that, it turns into like
it's me. No, he's after me.
No, and it turns into a soap opera. I always liked you. Oh, but you liked Ben Tramer. I was like, all right.
Did he get smashed by a police car into a van?
No, that movie didn't happen. It's like, no, that movie didn't happen. That never happened.
So he didn't die.
So Ben Tramer technically existed in the Halloween 1 universe? I don't get it. Yeah, it's like that's a nod to the second one but I let it go. It's kind of silly, but I do like the fact that somebody put that bitch Lori in her place. Like, look, it's not about you. It has nothing to do with you. Like, you're not fucking, get over yourself, lady.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it has nothing to do with you. He's like, he's just a guy. I like the stuff that they added that.
Right.
Because in 2018, in this movie, we got rid of most of the annoying characters from 2018. The stupid doctor, not in the movie, good. And most of the kids got killed off in that first movie. So it's like, okay, they're not really in this movie. So that was tolerable. But they have they made that throwaway line in 2018 of what happened after Halloween 1. Oh yeah, Loomis shot him 6 times and they ended up catching him and arresting him down the road. It's like, okay, what? And so I'm glad they kind of fleshed that out, you know, and they added in the whole tidbit of they caught him because he just went back to his house to look out the window like he fucking does. And then that's when we have the whole cop shooting his friend in the neck and blah, 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 blah. I liked it. I'm like, I think it was a great explanation. I think it added to his character and didn't shit on the lore that was already there. I mean, why is that so hard? And Todd thought that was so, his words, retarded. I'm like, why? Why is that so hard to believe? A guy like Michael Myers just was like a robot. Just like the cop says, he describes him as a child with the strength of a man and like a hunger to kill, you know what I mean? A force to kill. I mean, he is. Why is it so hard to believe that he went out Halloween night, killed people?
Yeah, I mean, he's never known anything other than when he was a kid. Like, yeah, he's been locked up the whole fucking time. What do you know?
The explanation of he went out in 1978, killed the 3 people, and then just return to his house to get caught because he's just a fucking mile, and to look out the window and the whole self-reflecting thing, like maybe he's looking at himself. I liked it. I'm like, that sounds like a fucking nutcase to me. It's like, why does it, people shit on it for years, like, oh, he doesn't need to have a motive, blah, blah, blah. And a movie comes out that really supports him being an evil force with no motive, down to the fact that he kills and just returns to his bedroom where he killed his sister looking in the window. Like, that's exactly what everybody wanted. Why are people shitting on this?
Also,
you know what I mean?
like, I think one of my favorite scenes, too, and it's weird because you don't really see that from him, and I think that's why I liked it. But then again, in the first one, towards the end, when she's all fucking wounded and shit, like creeping and shit, he hurries up and does grab her. He grabs her by the neck, and then that's when she pulls his mask off. So then you don't really think about that because it's really just a short little clip.
Oh, I loved it.
But like that part whenever the cop's staring out the window and out of the blue it does the jump scare, and he fucking books it towards him, just runs at him. Like, that's weird seeing that from him. Like, you don't really, you never really see them.
Max
running
sounds
full
like
force.
a child talking about this fucking movie. Oh my god, it's so weird seeing a guy run.
You don't ever see him run.
He has to. Fucking, he can't just walk up to people and still get away with all this shit.
When you never see that in the.
Well, I thought at the first flashback when they were in 1978 and he attacks the cop, I thought he came out kind of aggressive, like when he slammed him against the wall.
That's what I'm saying. He fucking
it did look kind of
ran out.
It did look pretty quick, but it was cool. I liked all of it, and I think
the way he walked down the stairs really fast.
Yeah.
He was stabbing. He was turning a guy into a porcupine. Fucking stabbing.
Yeah, he was turning
back.
that guy into the knife holder, which was fucking dope.
And I gotta say, I think a lot of people hated it too, but I like how they flipped it on its head and they just changed
the gore was nice.
No, yeah, they flipped it on its head and they became, they had the mob mentality thing instead of him stalking individual people.
Yeah, the whole crux of this movie is like fucking. It's not him as the stalker. It's now he's being stalked. The fucking the community of people are like, we're fucking tired of living in fear by this guy who killed once a long time ago.
Yeah, it's kind of silly, right?
If we all fuck this guy.
Yeah, it's a little bit fantastical and embellished, but it's okay.
Our boy Anthony Michael Hall basically playing Tommy Doyle, looking like Steve Wilkos. He's gonna tell us like send me. He's gonna tell you like send me a letter and if you're not a moron or a belly rubber, I'll send you a free T-shirt.
Fucking Michael, I'm tired of this belly rubber. Michael Myers.
Remember how he used to say that on the first couple seasons?
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Fuck."
We always tried to call for a T-shirt.
Drop me a letter and Steve's mailbag, and if you're not a moron or a belly rubber, I'll send you a free T-shirt. It's like, what the fuck? A belly rubber,
but. People had a problem with the angle of this movie of it being like the hunted become the hunter become the hunted and the people but I'm like, why? Remember, everybody, in this universe, in this timeline, the only movie that exists is Halloween 1. Why would you want them to remake Halloween 1 and it be the exact same? Because we've already got a million shitty sequels that are like that. Like, why is it so bad that this one's different? I appreciate it. It doesn't have to be like the first movie already exists. They're not going to top it. Let it be its thing.
How much of it is like this fucking anti-woke thing? Like, oh, now they're making a movie where he's the victim and we're the bag. Like fucking that kind of reaction to it.
I didn't find it too over the top with like woke shit it wasn't like that. I mean, you had Jamie Lee Curtis. I think she was comparing it to like, oh, Black Lives Matters, and we did this. And the timelines are all fucked up because it just sounds really weird. But like, no, the mob mentality fucking exists. It's like more. I wasn't looking at it as like a political thing, like Black Lives Matter and Antifa storming the Capitol.
I think
thinking of it.
I think that's basically the big cuck thing. Like fucking all these people, they can't fucking like not see it through like their fucking political lens, and like they get really pissed off about everything now.
All I was comparing it, I wasn't thinking of it like that. I mean, movies, there's a lot of movies that do that, and they are not subtle enough, and it ruins it. But this movie, no, it just reminded me of Frankenstein. Like, this shit happens. This shit happened in Frankenstein. Mob mentality and all that stuff, and the people are really scary themselves. I had no problem with it. And so I appreciated that, which is funny because I hate Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, but I hate movies that are, I liked that this movie was different than the first movie because that movie already exists. I hate Halloween 2 and it's brutal and all this shit too because the movie just sucks and it's not anything like the Halloween we know. This movie to me,
right, it is brutal. That's why I was like, that's weird that I like this one because this one's like gory.
Because this movie still, this movie Halloween Kills still lends itself to the original Halloween, the Halloween we love, and it fits in that universe while doing something different.
That's why I say this movie does part 2 better because like if their intention was like we're gonna have Fred or we're gonna have Michael Myers doing Jason like kills, it's like you didn't reach it. Fucking this one kind of does. Like fucking.
I'll say this too. I think this movie Halloween Kills is a much better sequel to Halloween 2018 than 2018 was to the original. Like I didn't like 2018 and. All the problems I had with that movie, they remedied. Even down to like Michael Myers in 2018. I still hate that this movie acknowledges 2018, but I have to let it go. But I hate the little black kid in 2018. His comic relief was off-putting. It was really out of place. There was some humorous stuff in this movie, but it wasn't out of balance and it wasn't too out of place. But I hated that little black kid in that movie. He was funny, but wrong movie. And then I hated the fact that Michael Myers let that baby survive. That didn't make any sense because if now in Halloween Kills, we're back to he's just a tremendous force of evil. He's this robot that just knows to kill. And why would he let the baby survive? I fucking hate that. But he made up for it in this movie by killing the trick-or-treaters. And he had he had the head of the Halloween 3 trick-or-treater. I'm like, that's awesome, man. Like that's what we need.
I thought it was just the mask.
Oh, they implied it was his head, right? Wasn't it bleeding?
I think he just like, yeah, I think
it was bloody.
mask.
Or it was bloody though.
Yeah, just saying that it was pretty much saying that he killed the kid.
Yeah, that's all I need.
You guys definitely like this movie more than I did. I can see that. Fucking when so the mob justice shit, they did and I don't hate this movie or anything. Fucking I can just tell. But yeah, basically they basically they did that thing where they like, oh, there's another guy who got out with Michael too, just out of nowhere. I mean, that's just so that they can bring it around with the mob justice message because they kill him.
You have to suspend your disbelief all over the place. This movie, like, are we really supposed to believe that they really thought this guy that was about 4 foot tall, Danny DeVito looking motherfucker was Michael? I get it. Suspend disbelief.
Seen Michael since the fuck that night.
I know exactly, but you know who has? Jamie Lee Curtis, and she saw that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
She's in
yeah,
the
but she
hospital.
says that, and they don't listen to her.
Well, oh, you're right. But you're right. And then like Tommy Doyle hasn't seen him. But I let all that little shit go. It doesn't really bother me. And the only person that does know is Brackett. Brackett would know.
It literally says on the news, it shows their face and their name. So like, I don't understand how they wouldn't.
Yeah. Exactly.
Know that. It literally showed them on their news thing.
Are we supposed to believe
the victims? It didn't show Michael.
No, yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Yeah, it showed him and the guy that escaped. It says two.
It said 2 people escaped the bus, and they showed fucking Danny DeVito, and then they blurred out his face for us.
Well, they weren't watching the news. They were thinking it was fake news.
But there
was political messaging in it. They weren't listening.
Maybe nobody was really watching it in the bar Tommy Doyle was at because they were distracted. But are we to believe that the entire fucking town of Haddonfield who showed up to kill Michael Myers, none of them were watching the news that night and saw this?
But fucking Tommy was watching it.
I know. Oh, was he actually looking at it?
He was watching it. Yeah.
It's so you have to just let that shit go. Like, I don't let that stuff bother me.
No, that's what, like, you can't argue with the mob. That's what they're saying. Fucking they were out for blood.
Anybody that like is fucking pissed off about like all the stupid shit this is in this movie and them having to suspend disbelief, like I said, then you really hate Halloween. Maybe those people hate Halloween 2, but Halloween 2, Ben Tramer gets smashed by a squad car going about 70 miles an hour in the middle of a suburban neighborhood on Halloween night, and he gets fucking crushed up against another squad car that's sitting uncomfortably in the road, and then this kid sets on fire and no one gives a shit. And they're just like, oh, it's just so Todd liking that movie and then bitching about that same shit in this movie doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's kind of like how
I think he's mad that he never referenced Sam Hain in the See, I thought when he was stabbing that guy in the back, he was going to carve Sam Hain into his back again or something.
Halloween 2, no one thinks it was stupid that Jamie Lee Curtis probably never held a gun in her life, but she shot Michael square in the eyes. Perfect shots. Like, what the fuck? You know, it's silly, but it's fun. Take it at face value.
Well, like, I like how they barely like talk about the dad dying too. Like they act like it never happened. Like they'll be like dad, and then
Oh,
that's
yeah.
it. Like that's it.
Like
let's.
she
focus
says
on-
something at the beginning, like he'll always be with us, or something stupid.
and that's it. That's pretty much it. That's it.
When
Done.
else would they talk about it? This is one night.
Yeah, it's right after. It's right after, and the adrenaline's running. Yeah, maybe like it's not the time to mourn when all this shit's going on. They probably would have hypothetically mourned the next day or a day after. But you know what? I'm fine with that because he's one of the fucking things I hated about the last movie. I did not like the dad character.
He was a Chad.
His weird humor was fucking cringe. I just think they corrected everything in this movie as far as it being fun. And I didn't hate Anthony Michael Hall. I get it. He was one note, kind of grunt, like you said, Steve Wilkos, but I didn't hate him. Is it silly?
I hated him. Fuck
Is it silly that they all gang up on him at the end of the movie with like fucking irons and golf clubs? Yes, especially when fucking Lonnie clearly like 30 minutes prior showed he had a trunk full of heavy artillery he was handing out to people. Like what happened to those guns? You know what I mean?
Do you see all the outrage over the lady holding the iron? Or not outrage, but people memeing about a lady holding an iron. And I heard about that, and I didn't see a picture. I kept thinking people were like fucking laughing that a lady showed up to like beat up Michael Myers with like a tire iron. And I was like, why would you think that wouldn't make a good weapon if you had to use a tire iron? But then I saw a picture. It's like, oh, they mean like a flat iron, like to iron clothes.
It is like very silly. But the thing is dude, they fucking had to have known that it was silly because, like I said, earlier in the movie, you have Lonnie opening up his trunk and like, where'd you get all this shit? He's got all this heavy artillery, stockpiling guns, and he's handing them out to my Anthony Michael Hall too. But yet Anthony Michael Hall has a bat. I'm like, what? Where's all these guns?
We fucking basically we came up with we figured it out while we were watching it on our commentary. We said, fucking, you know how this movie was created? I'll tell you right now. They were smoking weed. Fucking Danny McBride and fucking David Gordon Green. They were like, dude,
we should
Halloween.
get James Franco to play Michael.
No, dude, Halloween and Death Wish. And then the other guy was like, dude. Fucking write it down.
Dude, you know what though? I gotta say, and like I said, I love pretty much everything that Todd and a lot of people hated this movie for is all the reasons that I liked it. And which is funny. I was like,
well, I think the way that last scene, something about the way whenever basically they Michael is kind of coerced out into the street where they're basically waiting to beat the shit out of him, and they beat the shit out of him. The way that is shot, something just seems
shot, dude. It's shot like a Transporter movie. He turns into Jason Statham. Yeah, because look, no, I noticed that too. So he's like Bruce Lee in this movie. It's really weird because that wasn't like that in the first movie. In the first movie, he's stalking people one at a time in the shadows. And now it is, now we get to see what it would be like with a mob justice type of thing, because we have, first of all, in the first scene of the movie, when he escapes the burning house, which, by the way, plot hole, you got to let it go. It's like, okay, he kills the firefighter that's in the basement, and Michael Myers comes out of this fucking like fire. What? Why? Okay, if Laurie created this place as a trap for Michael Myers, why would she put a protective place for him to hide in that like steel door? Whatever. And then he kills the fucking firefighter on the basement. The firefighter from the top floor is holding out his hand like, let me let you up, buddy. And he pulls his hand, but before they cut to the next scene, they show him jerk his hand, insinuating that he's pulling the guy down, and you hear him scream before it fades to black. Ah! But then the next scene, he's out. I'm like, how did he get out? Because he pulled that guy down. Did he Michael Jordan his way out of there? Who gives a fuck? And then all of a sudden we're surrounded by a bunch of firefighters, and it turns into an action movie. Like, all right, like taking out people.
They should have used Mortal Kombat music.
Yeah, it was like that. Like he's taking out one at a time. And but
this is not where I was going. I was gonna say that last scene is shot really shitty, and it looked like it was fucking rushed because of COVID or something. Like they were just in front of a green screen and all these inserts.
I didn't notice that, but going back to that scene though, we have another scene where it's him versus a lot of people, and it felt like the Transporter to me, because all of a sudden he's surrounded by people and he's in the middle, and Michael, and they say something like, "Let's do this" or "Let's go." Somebody like initiates the fight, and then Michael literally like gets in battle stance, and he like looks around him.
Test your
And it
might.
reminded me of the transporter. I was waiting for him to take his shirt off and start whipping guys with it like fucking Jason Statham. And it was so weird, but I loved it. I don't know. I liked it.
Fucking low IQ shit.
I liked it, man.
Well, not true, Kino. Not true, Kino.
I was iffy on the ending. I thought it was kind of silly. I thought
that's the the way people hate it as much as they do. Could it just be like because the ending is so messy? Like the way it ends is like all of a sudden it gets all dreamy, like fucking, or like shit, the daughter of Lori, she lowers him out there, and then it's like showing her in the window, and he sneaks up behind her, and it's like
okay. So what's funny about this is I like them taking the mask, and yeah, she's kind of a cheesy actress. You want it? Come and get it. Whatever. But I like the fact that taking his mask and he's following her and leading her out the streets. I think that's all cool. And even when the mob catches up to him, right? They give him that's why it feels like a fighting movie or an action movie, because they're like, let's do this. And then they give him a second to put his mask back on. Like, all right, let's go. I'm ready. It's like, just gang up on him.
What is the autistic shit he has with that mask?
He's put his fucking mask on, beat his fucking ass.
He's pretending like it's COVID, but there's no COVID in this movie. And like fucking like we've all been kids trick-or-treating. Like you couldn't keep a latex mask on all fucking night. He would be so fucking out of breath and fucking panting.
But the thing you brought up the ending, but like all they did was end the movie with how the third movie would begin normally, right? Because the movie would have ended with them beating the shit out of, or him disappearing or whatever, or him dying. And like, okay. And how did he die in this movie? Or how'd they think they killed him again? What happened to him?
Beat the shit out of him. Beat the shit out of him.
Is that what happened?
They fucking shot him, stabbed him.
And
she stabbed him and he dropped.
Oh, that's right. And then we got the monologue from the cop, like he grows, and then they started splicing it with him getting up and killing everybody. Okay, so the movie, I think, naturally, if this was like every other shitty sequel, it would have ended with him getting the shit kicked out of him and insinuating he's dead. And then Halloween Ends would have began with what we already saw, where he survived it and he got up, killed everybody.
That's what it should have showed.
And then it would have started with him killing Judy Greer's character, right? That's typically would be the start of the next movie, but they ended it with that. They ended it with Michael being alive.
But then they say that like when you get the Blu-ray edition, they'll have a different ending.
It seemed really messy and fucking tagged on. Like,
I bet you the alternate ending on the Blu-ray is just what I said, and it just stops.
What if they literally pushed it off a year because they wanted to reshoot the ending? Remember that? Where it was like,
I just think it would be funny if the third movie started like it was still Halloween night.
Well, no, I mean,
no years skip by. It's just Halloween again. Still, like, holy fuck, this is a long ass night.
I think they acknowledge that in the next movie is going to have passage of time, right? Like a few years.
This one should have had passage of time.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be 3 or 4 years later.
Like 4 years passage of time, and then
what the fuck? How did
they
he
said they're
disappear and kill?
They said they're acknowledging COVID. What? Like, leave that shit out of. Dude, they do that. It just takes me out of it. Like I was watching.
Why would that take you out of it? That would literally should put you more into it.
No, it doesn't.
Realistic.
I hate it.
Wait, what do you mean COVID? What are you talking about?
David Gordon Green. They said that they're going to acknowledge COVID in the next one. Like it's gonna be acknowledged, and I guess.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to see that in like my time to escape
Michael
reality.
Myers he had COVID, so they had to.
Michael Myers was the only one that didn't get COVID.
4 years later, he survived from it.
No, that turns out to be the only thing that can cure pure evil, not blunt force, but COVID, and it's all propaganda. But no, I was watching, for example, the shitty You show in season 3. They acknowledge COVID, but just like in throwaway lines, and it's like, God dang it, man! Why? I don't want to hear about COVID. For fuck's sake, But
fucking wuss. Fucking
are we gonna be when this comes out next year? Are people really gonna be hearing about COVID? Is it gonna be still?
It'll probably still happen. It'll probably still be happening.
Why? It's so fucking stupid. So I already predict that this is like Empire Strike Back. This is gonna be the high point of the trilogy, and 3 is not gonna compete. I mean, I'm expecting it, but passage of time. So I guess we're supposed to assume that Michael disappeared after killing the daughter, and he hasn't been seen for a while. I don't know. But where's he been hiding out now? And haven't they raised the bar on themselves? Because if they spent so much time establishing that he's pure evil and he cannot be killed with blunt force, and the more he kills, the stronger he becomes, that's creating a pretty tall order for the director and writer to come up with a way to kill him. And you know what I mean? What are they gonna do? Are they gonna be like Leprechaun and like fucking put him in a well? They're not gonna kill him. They're gonna trap him.
I'm predicting that it's gonna end with a fucking knife fight, and they're basically gonna hit him and Laurie are gonna fucking kill each other.
Laurie has to die with them, which I don't want to see
fucking
that.
Stab each other in the neck or something.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't
want to see. I want to see Laurie like be dead by a heart attack in the first scene of the next movie. I don't want to see them die together. That's like some resurrection shit, like burn in hell, Michael kissing him on the fucking mask, and I don't want to see that shit.
They have to, otherwise there's no reason for her to ever have been in the movies at all.
But like you're saying, they can't
unless it's like fucking her daughter kills him at the end.
The daughter's dead.
No,
you mean the granddaughter?
The granddaughter.
Look, I think they can't do a thing where they both stab each other and they both die because they spent so much time establishing that blunt force cannot kill him. He grows stronger. He's pure evil, and they can't kill him like that. Like they're gonna have to think of a clever way to finish him off.
I'm pretty sure a fucking knife in the neck would kill anybody. I don't think how fucking.
You know what I hope they don't do? They better not do the decapitation thing again. I don't want to see that, the fake decapitate, because I don't want to see that. I feel like they're going to have to trap him or something, like, or put an amulet around his neck and turn him into a statue, like Leprechaun 3. Sell him in a pawn shop in Vegas. But I don't think they're going to be able to top this one. I'm just skeptical, but we'll see. But I enjoyed this one for what it was.
Fucking.
Did we miss it?
When I watched this movie, I was like, fucking, it's not too much better than the one that came out last time. I was like, fucking 6 out of 10. And then fucking, the next fucking, later on, I started thinking like, fucking, you know what? Like, for whatever reason, I didn't even think of like, oh, this is just a slasher movie the whole time I was watching the movie. I thought of that later. I was like, it was kind of a slasher movie, and it kind of was like part 2, but it did it better than they did it. And fucking, as I was watching, or as we were talking about it on Exploited Cinema, fucking like they were talking about it, it was like, yeah, fucking it works as a slasher movie. And then fucking I upped it to a 7, and I still haven't watched it since. And I was like, I'm thinking it's a 7 based on like the funness of the fucking slasher shit, but I still haven't watched it. I could watch it again and say no, 6 was
for me, it's a 7. I'm giving it a 7 now. Maybe it'll go up, maybe it'll go down, but I think a 7's a great score for Halloween. Trust me, a Halloween movie, a 7 is like a fucking.
That's
20.
What's so funny. It's like all the sequels. When it comes to the Halloween franchise, they did have the most bad sequels. Like fucking.
Oh yeah, no, it's like you could argue Friday the 13th had a way
2
better.
2 and 4 are kind of known as the good sequels. 2 and 4, like, and even people don't like those.
Yeah, people don't like those. So when you think about it in terms of like Friday the 13th, in my opinion, maybe Friday the 13th is more consistent. Like the quality is way more consistent.
It's all the same movie. So
yeah. So, but there's not a single Friday the 13th movie that is nearly as good as the original Halloween. But you know what I mean? But like Halloween dropped off big time. So, but all the reasons that people hate this movie, I like the movie. Like, for example, my favorite scene of the movie is probably something Todd fucking hated because it's not like the original. But like the scene where he kills that couple, that older couple, the black woman, the white guy, and we get to see what they didn't show in the original movie. In the original movie, we didn't actually get to see him fucking putting that guy in the closets, or, you know, the jump scares that we saw, like opening and people swinging down. And you kind of think to yourself, like, man, what did it look like when he was fucking putting all this work into propping these bodies up for jump scares?
Or like the fucking the pumpkin face.
There is that scene when they go to head him off at his house. There's that scene where like she's getting ready to go underneath and pull down the fucking attic thing, and she notices the body there. And I noticed like, oh, were they setting that up? Like he set it up like a Jason booby trap so that whenever she pulled it down, he'd come out, but she just noticed the body before she pulled it down. And then he kind of walks in. I was like, they fucking Chad. Very Chad.
And so like, and my favorite scene of the movie is when he's killing that couple with the fucking stupid drone, which is just weird nonsense. But when she got stabbed with the fluorescent lighting and she's still left there almost dead, but she's alive, and she's watching Michael Myers just stab her husband a million times with different knives, and he's doing his head tilt thing, and he's just taking fascination in which knife is stabbing him the most, how much, you know, like treating him like a pincushion. I'm like, this is exactly what Michael Myers is. You know what I mean? Like the guy's clearly fucking dead, and I love that scene, and it's brutal.
Would you try to piss on the person killing you if you knew you were gonna die and there's nothing else you could do?
I think it's fucking crazy. Like when he does stab her with the fucking light bulb
in the neck,
the fucking blood just starts pouring through the other side.
Yeah.
Fucking Mac, that is the reaction you're supposed to think. Fucking, I thought that was like really tame when he stabbed her in the neck, and it was. Just
but I just love her looking at him, and it's kind of like in her blurry professional. We just see him just. That's the kind of shit that we wouldn't have been able to see in the original movie. Like they just would have implied, somebody would have found the body with all these knives in his back. And I don't know. To me, it's just like they captured what Michael Myers was in the first movie. I liked it.
As I was watching it, I thought like afterwards is like that was a slasher movie. I'd be fine with them making more just like slasher movies with Michael Myers like that. And it reminded me of like, remember when there was like a straight to video or one greenlit that had like a couple like a soundtrack came out for it, and it was like, oh, it's gonna be two kids. They sneak in and they see fucking Michael Myers getting executed, and it was
talking about Halloween Returns,
something like that. Yeah,
that's what it's called. The soundtrack is still on Spotify.
As I was watching this movie, I thought of that. Like I was like, fucking, this is kind of like just like the way it was like going back to the night before, and it was like this is totally fucking fan servicey and like. Usually it's like the kind of shit people are just like, but it's like fucking for some reason I'm having fun with it.
It worked. See, Todd was saying the same thing. He's like, this shit was the Force Awakens. I'm like, no, to me, 2018 was the Force Awakens, where it's like, let's retread the first movie, and it was cringe.
This one, they literally went back to the night, is what I mean.
Yeah, but still, it worked. It just didn't feel like that to me. It didn't feel Force Awakens-y to me. I don't know. I think this movie worked as a companion piece to the first movie way better than that last one did. But we needed that last movie to get here, unfortunately.
One thing I didn't like is they set up the survivors of Haddonfield and then they fucking immediately die in one scene. Just like in the park and that.
Yeah. But I love the park scene though. Yeah, it is shitty, but I like that whole park scene and the whole, oh yeah, this creepy guy, this creepy pervert trying to offer us candy. Oh, there he is. I just like the whole scene. I thought it was cool. And he's, we see him holding the mask of that trick-or-treater. And I liked it. But it is funny too. Like why, when he's at the karaoke bar and he's commemorating 40 years and he's introducing all the people that were there that night, why are they all there? What is this? What they do? They drown in their beers and and also, why is the nurse there? She worked at the penitentiary, which is like insinuated to be upstate, like 4 hours away. Remember, Haddonfield was like 4 hours away. She came all the way to Haddonfield to fucking drown in her beers about like what?
When she killed him at the end, she said, "This is for Loomis," but it's like Loomis. The rest of the series doesn't exist. Loomis just fucking showed up at that one night. Like, unless they're gonna reveal something and kills that he killed him.
And that's a good point. I didn't notice that, but you're right. So Loomis, her relationship with Loomis is super limited, for all we know. And yeah, like why is it so personal? This is for Loomis.
Maybe they'll bring it in that they started dating and like Loomis and her and like fucking maybe like
because he existed for or fucking
who knows? Like I don't think they would make that work in some way. It just seemed weird.
Look, despite all the Swiss cheese of the plot points and the unrealistic approach of like what characters do, and like I said, they had guns 30 minutes ago. Why are they using irons now, dude? Look at all the fucking movies people love in this genre. They love like Slumber Party Massacre and shit. Like, come on, like you're gonna nitpick this for stupid shit. Like to me, I grade a movie like this on how much fun I had, and I had fun with it. So it's a 7. Like I said, I mean, like Todd loves Slumber Party Massacre. I'm pretty sure. I'm like that movie. I don't know. Like that movie was like smart. You know what I mean? Like, okay. But anyway, so let's rank the movies. I give it a 7 as well. And like I said, Zach's impression seems a lot lower than mine, and we gave it the same score. But like I said, a 7. I was expecting to hate this fucking movie really bad because I didn't like the last one, and I liked it enough to where okay, I was sold. And after my second viewing, I pre-ordered the 4K. I'm like, okay, I like this movie. I'm going to add it to my collection. But I think it's easy to rank these movies. I actually know it's tough because there's only a few good ones, and then it's really a shit show on like how you rank all the bad ones because they're just all so fucking bad. But I think The first one's always going to be the best. As of right now, I still like the original Halloween 2. I'm just going to keep it there. But who knows? I think that might change. But I like Halloween 2. I guess Halloween 3. And this is easily the fourth one. Easily. And like I said, it might even move around a little bit because it's different. If it was just more of the same, it's like, no, it's not that good. But, I could be in the mood for this one. I don't know.
I think ranking them this early is always pointless because it's definitely going to move. But, like, I would probably, like, put it next to where the original part 2 is. Fucking maybe one above it. Maybe fucking part 1, 3, and then, like, 4. And I don't know why I like 4 so much. It's fucking nostalgic and shit. But fucking and then probably this one and then 2 maybe.
I mean,
but it could change. Fucking, like I said, I need to rewatch it again. It could still be a 6.
1, 2, 3, and Kills are the only movies that matter to me at this point. So I say 1, 2, 3, Halloween Kills. I actually will put Rob Zombie's original one at 5. And then I guess by default, Halloween 2018 is number 6, which shows you how shitty the series got because I gave that movie a 4 out of 10. But then from there, it gets real tough. I guess Halloween 4, then fucking it gets really tough from here. No, you know what? Maybe Halloween H2O. And that movie doesn't feel like a Halloween movie to me, but it's watchable. But it doesn't feel like a Halloween at all. It literally feels like some generic fucking I Know What You Did Last Summer movie, and they just kind of like threw some Halloween shit in there. And then I guess it's like 4, 5, we'll just go down the list. 4, 6, 5, fucking Resurrection, Rob Zombie 2. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's all last place from there, but all that really matters is the top 4.
I think after the original part 2, I'd probably put Rob Zombie's Halloween. Fucking, I don't hate that one. And it's mostly like the first, like once it becomes a remake, it is like fucking this could be turned off.
It's shit.
The best version is the fucking the work print. Fucking that's not out on Blu-ray and shit. But I might put fucking Curse of Michael Myers after that.
Ugh. Yeah.
Fucking for some reason, Curse of Michael Myers, and like I always rated about a 6, but every time it's just like fucking I want to see that movie again. There's something about it. They're just like fucking it's got some weird great quality that I just can't pinpoint. Then I watch it and I'm like, yeah, it's not very good. But then another year goes by and I want to watch it again.
I was like that until we did the Halloween month and we watched them all and we watched both versions and I'm like, no, this movie's shit. I'm done with it. And to me, it's got a real straight to video quality. It seems like a 90s straight to video movie.
Chad,
something about it.
Dr.
Mac, how do you
Wishmaster? Fucking good shit come to straight to video in the 90s.
Wishmaster 1 was in theaters, wasn't it?
Dr. Giggles wasn't fucking a great movie.
I think Wishmaster 1 was in theaters.
Was it? Sure. I don't think so. I think my mom randomly had it and I was like, what is this?
I'm going to look that up real quick. Mac, tell us your ranking the best you can.
I'm going to say I have the 1978 as my first, and obviously, like, I don't know. I still have Halloween 2 my second, Halloween 4 is my third, Halloween 3 is my fourth, Halloween Kills is after that, then 5, H2O, the Halloween 2018, then the Halloween Rob Zombie first, then I have The Curse of Michael Myers as my 10th, and then Resurrection, and then Halloween 2 Rob Zombie is my last.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's pretty similar in that back nine, that back half. Isn't it funny, too? We should note that for an actress like Jamie Lee Curtis, who spent the majority of her career after horror, shitting on horror in these movies, now we live in a time where when Halloween Ends come out, she will have starred in more than half of the series. Because how many, isn't it like 17 movies if you include, 14 movies if you include the remakes? And now she will officially have starred in, 12. I think when Halloween Ends comes out, she will have starred in 7 of them. Isn't that
Did she
weird?
really shit on these movies though? Like
she
didn't want to do them for a while, but like, do they really ever shit on it? I think most of the times they
just ignore them.
Hollywood actors probably just like, I don't want to get pigeonholed into one genre. I just want to keep working. So of course I'm not just gonna keep going back to fucking horror movie. Like,
but when we kind of shit on them for it. But what you're on the way down and you're an aging actress where Hollywood's not gonna touch anyway, then it's like they go back to horror. So she's really, I don't know, but it's funny. She will have been in 7 of these movies now, which is more than half. Wishmaster was in theaters and had a $5 million budget and pulled almost $16 million. But I want to say the second one probably wasn't.
Wishmaster 2 is a better film.
I'd have to rewatch
I like
Fucking
Wishmaster 2 the best.
Prison movie, and there's a fucking guy in the movie who's like talking to his fucking is a lawyer, and he like fucking he's not gonna get me out of here. Fucking I wish he'd go fuck himself.
He tells him to fuck himself. Yeah, I remember that.
and then he comes out and he's like, I just found the thing that cracked your case. You're gonna get out of here. But then the fucking wish goes through and he fucks himself to death. And it's like, oh no. I was just getting ready to get out. That's genius writing.
Or hey man, I went out of here. Yeah. And he's like, I want to walk straight out these doors or whatever, and he fucking just walks through the bars and everything.
So, what would you rank the movie, Mac, out of 10?
I gave it a high score. I gave it a 9.2 for me.
You love the movie.
Yeah.
It's a love, but you love the movie. Hell yeah.
I can really, really enjoy a movie, and just, to me, I'm giving it a 7 because, I don't know, that's me saying I had a lot of fun with the movie. I think it's going to have some rewatch value. But I'm just, it's also schlocky and stupid, but I don't know. I
do want to point out that like there was a point in like maybe like towards like fucking maybe the middle or towards like where the second act and then the third act starts, where it was like, okay, like fucking this movie doesn't have much of a story. Like I noticed that it's like fucking where are we going from here? And then it kind of fucking there was this kind of like a point where it's just like. But it's like, it makes sense because like it's a slasher movie and like literally it's just he's still killing people and now we're throwing in the fucking the town wants basically revenge, and like so we're just hanging out watching that unfold for a while.
Not one of us brought up Evil Dies Tonight, which is funny because if you guys watch Red Letter Media, they make a mention that this fucking script was a lot of
fucking bracket.
People saying Evil Dies Tonight a lot. Like, and it was
Sheriff
funny.
Brackett says it because that's what he says in the first one.
I know, but they cut to like a montage of all the times they say in the movie, and it's hilarious. It's like Evil dies tonight.
Or like,
Lori's like,
that's the cringe.
Evil's gonna die tonight.
That's literally the cringe shit. Like they're trying to take that line he said in the first movie, and then he shows up at the end and says, "Everyone's entitled to one good scare." Michael, it's like, why would he remember that? He wouldn't remember that thing he said to them in the car.
It's really stupid. I love it, but I don't. But I
hated that. I hated that scene though. I was like, that took me out of the movie. It's like it felt like a commercial.
There's so many weird little nitpicks and problems with continuity and fucking. But it just, like I said, it's a slasher movie. Was I entertained? Did it have cool kills? And I even like the weird Bruce Lee Michael scenes where he's fighting 20 people. I don't know. It worked for me. I had a good time. And like I said, I've seen the bottom of this mountain before. I've sat through 5 and 6 and all this shit. I'll take being entertained and over the top schlockiness as long as I'm entertained, man, at this point.
Imagine if they made the Thorn Cult saga this entertaining.
Yeah, no, seriously. If it was just this batshit crazy, I would absolutely love it. So, but I think we should, what?
There's one more thing I want to say. Fuck, what was it? Fucking go ahead.
Maybe I was gonna wrap up, but
you can start.
No, I was gonna wrap up. So everybody, let us know what you thought about the movie. I think it's kind of cool how it's divisive. You know, it's a talking point, and people probably are getting pretty sick of it at this point. And time will really tell. When Halloween Ends comes out next year, we'll kind of see how it all fits together.
It also kind of sucks that they announced that there was going to be another one.
Yeah, weird.
Because now it's like, okay, we know he's going to live in this one, so how are they going to do it?
We know he's going to live, period. He's not going to fucking die at the end of the one either.
Everyone's like, well, this will be the last one because they'll kill him. No, someone else will pick up the fucking script. John Carpenter will fucking slap his cock on it, and it'll be a go.
No, it's the end until they remake it in 5 years.
Dude,
that's what I'm saying.
They're literally they're literally never going to stop making
these movies.
Just like Frankenstein. Like this guy is like... We're going to, at some point, we're going to watch the last Halloween movie we ever see because we're going to die and they're going to keep making these movies, which is weird to think. Like, fucking, this is a genre, like a fucking series that's like, oh, this is ours. This is our generation.
They're going to end this new timeline they created until 5 years goes by and they have to milk the cow again. And they'll
have Micah Myers X.
They'll create a new one. They'll just probably remake it again. I predict they'll just remake the original one all over again.
Michael in Space.
Now I
And
wish
they're gonna send him to space, and then Michael or Halloween ends, and then
He's
that's
all
gonna be
floating around
that's gonna be the
just like
just
swiping
gonna
his
be
knife.
Michael in
Dude,
space.
he's floating around in space like a fucking the big Y shot. There's no sound, like it's 2001. And fucking
Space
Buster Rhymes comes by. And he's like, "I'm back, Mikey." I just picture that. That would have been amazing. I'd love to see that.
Anyway, it was fun talking about it.
That
I'm
should
glad
be
we
the
got
cover
to.
of this episode.
Oh, you
Him and
That would
Buster
be-
Rhymes in space.
fucking.
What's up, Hammerhead Chalk?
So we just want to remind everybody too, if you enjoyed the episode, please make sure you've liked the video, help us out in the algorithms, leave a comment. The interaction helps out a lot. Please subscribe to us if you haven't already. If this is your first time on the channel, please do look around. We've been around 10 plus years. There's shit tons of content between Cinema Enema episodes, BTM commentaries, Mac and Zach Save the World commentaries, Exploited Cinema, which Exploited Cinema has a new episode, Friday the 13th part 5, right? Was that their Halloween episode?
Fucking Halloween. It was the 11th anniversary. Fucking amazing.
11th anniversary. So tons and tons and tons of content. A lot of stuff for everybody. So
Tons and tons and tons of cum.
If you want to support us any further, obviously subscribing and liking our videos and all that good stuff and spreading the word is all we could ask for. But if you wanted to go the extra step, we do have a Patreon linked below wherever you're watching us. For the $2 a month, you get early content. Everything's early access. Exclusive content. I just recorded, again, I'll say, a new Deep End with Riverman that, you know what, I think going forward, those are just probably going to be, at least for now, exclusives to Patreon. And it made me feel better. I was talking to Riverman a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, you know what, the fact that this isn't for everybody made me feel more loose about stuff I wanted to talk about. So I think that's a good place for it for now. So do check that out. And if you wanted to support us even more, we have a Teespring where you can buy swag, and they always kick us back a healthy profit from each one of those t-shirt sales or whatever. But that's all I got. Is there anything else you got? What did you guys put out? There's something for Mac and Zach. What's out right now?
We did Reanimator for Halloween. We did Child's Play 2 for Halloween. We did a fucking commentary for Halloween Kills because we thought it was the fucking episode we were going to record. So fucking, I can't decide if we should put out the Chucky 2 one or as the Patreon or the episode and have the Halloween Kills be the Patreon. Fucking, if we already have 2 episodes talking about it, fucking, it could just be because the fucking Chucky one turned out really good, and that's a classic.
I mean,
film.
if you ask my opinion, maybe that is the best idea because this one's going to go up on a regular week. Maybe to let them breathe. Maybe you should put the Chucky up. Put your, you can put it out later, but I think that's probably the best. Why is that? That's probably the best thing.
We'll think about it. We'll think about it.
But anyway, that's all we got. I don't know what we're gonna do for the next. Is it? This doesn't really count as somebody's turn, does it? Do I get to go next? Is it my turn? Did we do B and John Malkovich last time?
Whichever, baby.
I think I got to find something to pick for Cinema Enema. We're officially entering the holiday season, aka Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, I mean, I don't know if we're gonna do something more holiday themed or what we're gonna do, but I mean, we have to squeeze some holiday movies in there.
Mac and Zach, we are doing we are definitely doing Son-in-Law for Thanksgiving this year.
Oh, yeah, you got to do that. We did that once too, but we'll figure out some fun stuff. A lot of stuff that we still haven't done holiday wise. So, but anyway, that's all we got, guys. Thank you so much. And Discord. Follow us on the Discord. Also part of the Patreon. You could be watching us live and interacting as we do these commentaries and Cinema Animus. So there is a public Discord for everybody and a private Discord for patron supporters. All that stuff's linked below. We'll catch you guys next time. Adios. Bye-bye, puppets. Happy Halloween.
Fuckers.
I'll be right back. I actually want to ask you something, Zach. Give me a sec.
Happy Halloween, fuckers. He left. We could literally keep the show going and never
Happy
end
Halloween, you fucking peanut turds.
What do you want to say? What do you want to say while we're not ending it here? We're just gonna keep it going, fucking before and then when he gets back, it'll officially just end. He comes back, sits down, immediately the credits roll. Say whatever you want, Mac. This is our free time.
Welcome to the
Mac and Zach free time on the.
Welcome to the Mac and Zach late episode of Cinema Enema.
Good chat shit. I need to go get some more soon.
What's yours at?
Fucking I mean,
Look at mine. Look at mine. Dude, I went to this one yesterday, and I was like, hey, this is my first time here.
Did they pull out your cock and show you how to come?
Dude, last night I got of this one called 10th Planet.
Dank.
Oh, wait, where is it?
Was it good shit?
Yeah, it's fucking called the 10th Planet.
There's 10 of them. Oh, right when he sets down, the episode's going to end. See you guys.
Ugh.
Revival House. 2019, y'all. That sounds like fire. Like this country used to.